For every good signing a club makes, there's bound to be a few that don't work out. And Man United have certainly had their fair share of those, especially since the end of their golden age under Sir Alex Ferguson. Here are just some of the Red Devils' worst signings since Fergie. First up, Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez joined United from Arsenal back in 2018 and became the highest paid player in the Prem. He'd averaged almost 1 goal every 2 games for the Gunners, but in his 45 games for Man United, he only managed 5 goals. Not what you want from a star striker. Next up, Radamel Falcao. He earned himself the nickname the Tiger for his sheer efficiency and the way he used to pounce upon the mistakes of defenders. But at Man United, he was way more pussycat than Tiger, to be honest. All he managed in 29 Man United games was 4 goals. Moving on, things couldn't have gone much worse for Jadon Sancho at Man United. Yeah, it would have been hard to outdo his Borussia Dortmund form, but 12 goals in 83 games is not great. Things got worse after a public fallout with manager Erik ten Hag. Sancho said he was being made a scapegoat. Ten Hag said there'd been a discipline issue. It all ended up with Sancho going back to Germany. Next, Erik ten Hag probably thought he was being smart in sticking to what he knew when he signed Antony from his former club Ajax. But the £86 million Brazilian hasn't really been able to hack it in the Prem. Chances are Antony's Man United days are numbered. Next, the curse of the Man United number 7 shirt. Not an easy act following Ronaldo, Cantona, Beckham and George Best, but Memphis Depay was another striker who was apparently allergic to scoring for United. He scored just 7 in 53 appearances, a huge letdown since he'd helped PSV win the Dutch league just a season before joining. Last one, Angel Di Maria was set to be United's landmark signing when he joined in 2014, but 1 season later he was already on his way out. 4 goals in 32 games was just not good enough, given he'd broken the British record transfer fee when he signed. And those are just a few examples. To be honest, the list could go on and on. Unfortunately, that's probably why Man United haven't won the Prem for a while, and why it might take a few more years before they're in contention again.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Clark's Award Week. Save up to £1,000 on selected cars this week. Brilliant. Alan Brazil and Rangers all-time record goal scorer Alistair McCoist.
How are you this morning, my friend?
Mike's quiet.
You sounded well yesterday. I enjoyed it yesterday. I took you to school. And
well, yeah.
No, sound is a pound. Apart from this echo in my ears, guys. But with a little detour getting in, I said yesterday, the road's closed. How can they do that on Cheltenham week? It's beyond me.
I know, but I mean, if you're Ed, surely you've got to have a counter strategy or a plan or something, surely.
No, I'm a bit worried about Ed. Do you see him? See the old shoulders going today?
I'm a bit concerned.
Yeah, honestly.
He's looking more like Penfold every day, isn't he?
I'm telling you, I think we've got to get him another driving test.
Do you think so?
He nearly took 3 horses out yesterday, and then today he's chuckling away. His shoulders are going.
I know,
concentrating the road, Ed.
It was the first day we dropped off at the racecourse by Mr. Magoo. Right, you know.
Honestly.
He was...
Yeah, guys, sorry, you don't.
My boy. But in all seriousness, why would you close the roads in the busiest street?
Gloucestershire Council, be ashamed. Be ashamed. You wait here, the stick they're going to get. People getting into Cheltenham and getting out all week. They've dug the road up, all accounts.
I know, we struggle.
So if you're listening and you're on your way down, driving,
leave now.
Do not go between Broadway and Winchcombe. Forget it. Go towards Evesham, Cheltenham and come in that way. Absolute disgrace.
I didn't think the first thing we'd be doing at 6 o'clock in the morning, we're giving a travel report.
No, we have to. We've got to tell the punters, you know, but we don't want them upset before they lose all the money, do we?
Very true.
We're live from the Coral Box because it's time for the greatest show on turf.
Spine-tingling moment for the crowd here as the famous Cheltenham roar will ring around Prestbury Park. Well, he had a century of winners this season here at Cheltenham. Willie Mullins, a century of festival winners, and in this centenary Gold Cup has secured victory. A remarkable achievement. Back-to-back successes.
It's all about Galopin de Champs. It's all about Bhutan under that fabulous ride. It was magic.
Fifth place, 3 Gold Cup. Rachel Beck urging Honeysuckle for one last lunge to the line, and it's going to be one last victory for the magnificent mare Honeysuckle.
Absolutely amazing! This is phenomenal.
The Marine Nationale has found the key to success. That is a true champion. Constitution Hill, well done.
It is magic. It is magic. Rupert Bell there and Lizzie Kelly. Did Rupert's tip do any good yesterday? Do we know? Non-runner.
You're winding me up.
That just summed them up. How can that be?
What is the point of this exercise?
It's not talkSPORT FM, it's talkSPORT NR, non-runner. Honestly, between them, they can't get it right, can they?
You and I have got to take over there.
I think we're taking over this week.
Surely.
Right?
Yes.
We're taking over.
Yes, good shout, mate.
Don't forget, we're going to be joined here in the box throughout the morning by Dean Saunders. That's handy, save the voice. AP McCoy, Ed Chambers. Ed Chambers.
I call that...
Ed Chamberlain.
Listen, I call that a day off when Dino comes in.
And John O'Shea coming on as well. Right, on to last night's football. Where, before I even started Cheltenham, I had 1-0 West Ham and 1-1.
I had 1-1.
Is that a penalty?
I thought so. I'm looking about. There's a few shrugs of the shoulders. Perhaps it's... I thought it was a penalty.
By the way, well done Newcastle, because I thought maybe with the weekend and around the corner,
and in the cup final.
That's why I had 1-0 and 1-1. But anyway, well done Newcastle.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Newcastle warmed up for the weekend's Carabao Cup final, 1-0 win over West Ham to move into 6th place, just 2 behind Chelsea in 4th. Brilliant. Toon boss Eddie Howe told talkSPORT, by the way, yesterday he said, I'm going to play a strong side.
Well, he did.
Told little Sam that it was a big boost ahead of Sunday.
I think it's what we needed before the cup final. We needed a lift, especially with the recent news, as we've already discussed. We needed confidence in the team. I think we've got that. I never doubted it personally, but I think players always need to see the results of that. Today was the perfect game for us. We had to defend really, really well. You always do when you have to come to West Ham. We had to deal with set plays, but I thought we controlled the majority of the game. We had the best chances to score. Very pleased.
Well done, Eddie. By the way,
great result for them.
Great result. I wouldn't discount them in the cup final, would you? Because I think they'll have a go at Newcastle. I don't think they'll sit back. I think they'll take it to Newcastle.
They've got to have a go. Nah, you'd be surprised.
I think they will. I think they'll take it to Liverpool. I think they'll have a go.
Oh, they'll have to. But it's a big ask, no?
Of course it is. They're the best side in the.
It's a cup final.
They could be European champions, but I think Newcastle say, "Hey, here we are." They'll look to it's right or left with their mass hordes of black and white fans and say, "Come on, let's have a go here."
I'll have a go. What they're sitting right now, joint 5th with Manchester City on 47 points, 2 behind Chelsea and 4 behind Forest.
Yeah.
I was at Forest Saturday. What a great.
Wow,
I need to tell you before we get any further.
Go on.
I met
Robbo? No?
Robbo's probably the only one I didn't meet.
Really?
I met Frank Clark, Ian Boyer, Chris Woods, Nigel Jameson, who else? There was... they were all there. Big Paul Hart.
Brilliant.
Brilliant it was.
Brilliant. I played against Paul. Was it Leeds and Forest?
Yeah.
Might have been Leeds and Forest. Was he not doing the academy somewhere? I think our youth team, or he was doing something.
Well, I remember he was manager for a period, wasn't he?
Of course he was. But then after that, I think he was, I forget now, it might have been, it could have been Forest Academy, I can't remember. But
John O'Hare.
Oh, John O'Hare.
I met John O'Hare. I'd never met John O'Hare.
No.
Brilliant. He was in the boys were in magic form. I played with Ian Boyer at Sunderland. He was great. Big Woodsy, I played with Rangers.
It's a great club. And by the way, Nottingham's a great place.
That is, eh?
Great sporting place.
Well, I was there the night before because I went for a curry with Big Dyche and a few of the boys.
Did you?
It was
How
great.
was he?
Yeah, I was in top form. I mean, sensational form.
Good. Now, West Ham, they failed to make it 3 wins in a row and had themselves, what was it now? They find themselves down now in 16th, I think it is. On commentary for talkSPORT, former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy, and he was less than impressed with the Hammers' approach to last night. Ooh.
I can't believe we are 82 minutes in. Newcastle have a corner. West Ham are at home losing 1-0, and they've got everybody back. Everybody back, defending a corner with 8 minutes to go and you're 1-0 down. Why, when you've got Jared Bowen, Kudus, leave them up. Take a risk. My God. I don't know what's just... But things like that are basic. You know, you're defending a corner. I mean, you might as well lose 2-0 and 1-0. Leave 2 forwards up. Leave Ferguson and Bowen up, whatever it is.
Well, Danny's got a point there, Ali, hasn't he?
Happy, has he?
You know, 1-0 down, you'd think you'd go, wouldn't you, and just take a chance.
Well, what I'm taking from that? Danny's on 1 each as well. Danny had 1 each.
Do you reckon?
I was just written all over his voice there, wasn't it? His sitting was in the 1 each corner.
Yeah, Graham Potter's had a decent start, though, hasn't he?
They'll be fine, you know. They'll be fine. I mean, I know you expect, particularly at home, West Ham to go and have a real go. I get it. I do take his point. You throw a little bit of caution in the wind, don't you?
John O'Shea coming on a wee bit later, and we're going to hear, coming up, we turn our attention to that huge interview with Sir Jim Ratcliffe yesterday. Is it right to be calling out your players mid-season, or towards the end of the season, isn't it? We'll discuss that next, 6:15.
they prove that City's breaches caused that loss?
How much did the Eric Ten Hag venture cost Manchester United? There's a proposal to ban state-controlled clubs from English football.
This isn't about Edu not believing in the Arsenal project, it's perhaps about Edu wanting more power.
Good morning, 6:20. Alan Brazil and Super Ali alongside me. Right, here we go. I tell you what, I'm so excited being here.
It's magic,
still dark out there. I'd love to scene set for you, but it's still dark out
What
there.
time do you think we'll get the first scene set? I think it'll be about
7:15, something like that.
I think it might be just post 6:30 news, because it's brightening up a wee bit, slightly.
Right, it's the pubs that want the money this week, as they're cashing in with some punts for Cheltenham. Many are opening at 7 a.m, can you believe it? And closing late to make the most of the country getting race fever. Is 7 a.m. too early, Ali, even on a big occasion like this?
Yes. Yeah.
You had to think about that.
Oh, 7's too early. Surely it's too early.
Well, if you go to bed at 8, though, it's 11 hours, isn't it?
What time's the first race?
I think it's 2:30. Hold on.
Chinese dentist, is it?
I think so. Or is it earlier? Hold on. What am I talking about? 1:20. Crikey, that's
I know.
early.
That's what I said to you.
I'm thinking they're all Ascot. It's 1:20.
You told me it was a Chinese dentist. He doesn't. Do you know what a Chinese? Yeah, there's no. Pardon me. I thought it was 2:30. Yeah, right. 6 o'clock. No, are these local pubs?
Yeah, they will be. Well, I don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't actually specify that. But I would imagine around here, mind you, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. You think about it. 7 o'clock. First race.
Not coming racing. Well, what state they're going to be at 5 p.m.
Oh, I tell you what you need to do. You need to pick your horses while Rolling Bacon run about 8. Because if you're in there since 7, the first race is 1:20. You couldn't go picking your horses at 1
By the way, look, you feel for the workers, the workers behind the bar in the pub, but if they're getting paid well, and the punters want a bacon roll and a bit of breakfast and a 1 pint, what's wrong with that? That's Europe, innit?
There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it in my book.
They've been doing that in Glasgow for 40 years, haven't they? Up the Gallagate. Right, let's have a look at how today's back pages are with Tesco Mobile for Business.
Backpage review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Small retailer, get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. For terms and verification, visit tescomobile.com/business.
And Shaban's here.
How are you, Shaban?
Who's had a little tipple at 7 before, a bit of Whispering Angel. Morning, Shaban.
That would be nice if I had that this morning, but count me in for tomorrow morning for sure. Good morning to you from the studio. I've got all the papers here. Just by the way, if you're not trusting Rupert Bell and his tips anymore, don't forget that the Sun...
No, we don't. We mean anymore. We haven't for months.
Yeah, if that's a bit iffy.
Shaban.
The Cheltenham Festival favourite, home of racing favourite, is in the Sun today. It's 28 pages, absolutely everything you need to know about Cheltenham. So that's your pull-out paper. Inside the Sun today, back pages of all the papers, the pictures of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So the Sun, their headline is overpaid and not good enough. The Times, they're saying Ratcliffe, Ruben isn't perfect, but he's our guy. The Telegraph Sport is saying without cuts, we'd go bust by Christmas. Looking at the back page of the Mirror, they're going for overpaid and overrated. And the Daily Mail saying bust by Christmas. Sir Jim cuts essential to save Manchester United and says stars are overpaid. Yes,
By the way, can I just say this, Shaban, right? For a man of his experience and wealth, would he not look at, if he buys an engineering firm or whatever he's buying, you'd look at the equipment, wouldn't you, before you spend all that money?
You're talking officially due diligence.
I have no sympathy whatsoever.
No sympathy for who?
For Jim. For Sir Jim, I'm sorry. He bought it. He looked at it. He must have had his boffins, accountants go over all the figures. He bought it. So tough, get on with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what you're speaking about now. Go on then, Ali, yeah.
I'm just thinking, though, I mean, how can Manchester United be in a position where they go bust? Because that's some statement, that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they've spent a lot of money on players, and I don't know. I mean, the previous owners, I think they're still currently on whatever percentage it is. Are they just sitting in America taking all that money in? I mean, where's the money going?
Well, this is the thing about the Glazers. I will say Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I think even doing this interview, is trying to highlight where they are trying to put things right, and the fact that they are almost, had they spent money in January, they would have been kind of on that verge of being insolvent. That's what he was looking at as a business person. He also mentions in his quotes, this is Sam Wallace in the Telegraph, I know I'm getting a tough time in the press for being brutal, unpleasant, all those sorts of things. That's in regards to the 450 job cuts at Manchester United. But he's gone through a list of things, say, where they've had to make cuts. They had a body language expert for £175,000 a year, so that person lost their job. But in terms of so he's kind of highlighted where they're trying to do all of the right things for all the right reasons, but they are on the brink of being financially completely broke. He says the club's dire finances showed that the depth of challenges facing EOS, the club have cumulatively lost £391.5 million over the past 7 years, including £254 million in the past 3 years. The £410 million lost over that period has been mitigated by one of a profitable year in 2019 when the club booked a profit of £18.8 million. He then talks about the players.
So when he bought the club, Shaban, how was he going to turn that around?
Well, he's obviously
doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, he is a businessman. I think it does have to go right to the bottom to then kind of bounce up. And some people saying they're not even at the bottom yet. He spoke about the players. This is the thing. There's quotes going around, this overplayed and overrated quote. Looking at the Daily Mail, they've covered it here. Some players are not good enough. Some are probably overpaid. But for us to mould that squad, they're fully responsible for and accountable for, will take time. There are some great players in that squad, as we know. The captain is fabulous. We definitely need Bruno Fernandes. He's a fantastic footballer. And then there's another quote where he talks about the players that you'll have to buy this summer. He says, even if United were not to sign a single new player this summer, we still have to pay off a massive bill of transfer debts this summer. We have to buy Anthony, Jadon Sancho, Casemiro, Martinez, Højlund, Andre Onana. They're all about £17 million each. And if we buy nobody, we still need to buy them.
Ali and Shaban, that's the sort of demonstrations last weekend. United fans wearing black. It's going to get worse now. Now he's highlighted this. They're going to go ballistic.
Well, that's just, I mean, with great respect, it just sounds like gross mismanagement prior to it, doesn't it?
But is he not trying to rectify
we know
it?
have just taken and taken and taken, haven't we? Yeah, but people didn't realise how bad the situation is. They're going to go mental because it's their football club. Man United fans through generations are saying, what's happened to our football club? I can see this getting worse.
Yeah, I agree with that there. And
I
he
think
stands
it's
by
incredible.
Ruben Amorim as well.
I think that's incredible, but he didn't. When he was obviously critical of players and wages, he didn't name any names, did he?
No, not in the same bracket. It looks like they are being put together, but from what I'm reading, the different quotes are not in context. Overpaid and overrated is talking about the squad as a whole. When he's talking about the players they still have to buy this summer, that's where he lists those lists of players I mentioned: Martinez, Højlund, Sancho, Rashford, all of those kind of things as well. So even without buying a player in the summer, he's still got to pay these off as well.
It's incredible.
Wow. Okay, Shaban, thank you.
Cheers,
Thanks, Shaban.
That's one hell of a story, isn't it, really?
It's unbelievable.
Okay, Shaban will be back later on. Is coming up, where are we? 6:28 on talkSPORT.
Backpage review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle? Get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. For terms and verification, visit tescomobile.com/business.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. Something like this?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision.
It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top level of football refereeing? You can apply to become a referee through your local county FA from as soon as your 14th birthday. After spending several hours either in the classroom or on the pitch, they'll grant you Level 7 status, which allows you to officiate amateur games. Then you'll work your way through the ranks of amateur football, not reaching the National League until Level 2. It's a long process, bearing in mind every level from 7 upwards takes an average of a year. Also, there's no specific number of games you have to ref or hours you have to log before moving on up. You simply just have to be good enough. Once you're Level 2 and have enough experience at a National League level, you can apply to the EFL to become a Level 1 referee. Then it's on you to get enough experience to climb through the ranks and eventually become a Premier League referee. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough to officiate games in the top flight. So if you want to make it to the top, there's less than a 1 in 1,000 chance of doing it, and it'll take you a decade to get there.
Good morning, 6:34. Alistair.
Alan.
Look behind you now. How nice is that? It's a bit grey, to be honest, a bit cloudy, but the sun is up over Cleve Hill.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Do you know, as we come down from Broadway, we come down the hill, it is just magic.
Yeah, you see all the lights.
It is mad. It's like,
great.
You think, wow, look at that.
Probably the next, what would you imagine, the next, 20 minutes the horses about?
Well, Willie Mullins, he's got so many. I think he's got 60 odd here. No, I'm not winding up. I think he's got 60 odd coming over. And they normally come out early. Oh, yeah. And they'll normally they come out and have a little, not necessarily running later on, they'll just have a little loosen up canter. No, not even a canter, just a little trot around just to take in the surroundings.
Legs moving.
Yeah, a bit like us, coming in out of the taxi. 6:34.
I hope they're moving slightly better, you and I do. What have you dropped?
No, we got a problem with the Wi-Fi, haven't we? But anyway, look, we'll get by. We'll just chat, can't we?
Well, fine.
Now, we're having a few months of tips of Ding Dong Bell and Lizzie, and with a great respect to Lizzie, she's doing all right. Rupert's murder, honestly.
Non-runner.
If you backed all of Rupert's tips, you would be, well, you'd be Jim Ratcliffe. You've done your role. You've done your role. I've always thought I could do a better job than Rupert, so it's time for me to have a go head-to-head with the computers in the first division, first edition, of AI versus AL. Here we go.
Technology.
If you was Alan Brazil as a robot there, I'll be like, that. What's going on here?
Technology.
What's it, Elon Musk or something, whatever his name is?
Technology.
He's already got a flying car. So how did you talk to your phone then? What'd you say?
They don't talk to it.
What'd you do? Well, a flying car's by then.
What?
Well, a flying car's in 30 years' time. Google it. Who sang this song? Oh, I've said that ages ago. I'm way ahead of you. Right, here we go. We'll just do the first two races to begin with.
Here we go.
What about the Supreme Novice Hurdle? Here we go. I'm a gent. I'll let AI go first.
Tuesday's selection from the TPD data comes in the 5:20. This is the National Hunt Chase, and we go with Haiti Colour for Rebecca Curtis, a winner here in December. Although transmission was visibly closing at the line, it's worth noting that Haiti Colour's had a higher top speed at 37.2 miles an hour, and its speed after the line of 24.45 was the best in the field. He was certainly staying on. He's had a really nice prep run over hurdles in the meantime to protect his mark, and he looks to be great each-way value in the last race of the day.
Well, that sounded like Alec Crook after a night out, didn't it? It sounded like a big crookie. But anyway, look, at the first race, Supreme Novice Hurdle, I'm hoping the punters can get off to an absolute flyer. Willie Mullins, Ali just mentioned him. Copac de Boards will be favourite. I don't know what sort of price, because I don't have the runners and the betting in front of me.
I think you're really...
No, Ali, I don't have the runners in front of me, but everyone's talking about that winning the first.
It's odds on, I think.
Oh, is it? Well, I can't pick that. But I can't pick a horse when I can't see it.
I've showed you them here, look!
Yeah, but I've no glasses with me. And these lights are murder, honestly. Well, you pick one then.
Right, I will do.
Right, here we go. I'm going to back each way. Number 6, Romeo Coolio. That's my tip against AI, right? Romeo Coolio in the first race. I was in the Ligon the other night and everyone was talking about it. That's the danger to the favourite. What about the Arco AI? Or
happened to my pick, man. I thought you said to me.
No. It's just me and it's. I've only got one tip. Right, go on. Give us yours, Ali.
I'm going to the second race. Load of Sud. Harry Skelton.
No, we're not doing that. I told you that in the way in. That's by the way, that's taken on JP's big odds-on favourite.
Wait, am I getting a pick or no?
No, you're not. No, it's Al versus AI, right? And Load of Sud's my tip. You know, you
all right, it's your game. What am I doing here then?
Well, I don't know, because you know, I'd have thought you got enough jobs to do, to be honest. Oh dear. Right.
Well, this is going swimmingly well, isn't it?
So we're going with that.
I'm actually with you. I'm happy with that pick.
Romeo Coolio.
Romeo Coolio.
Because you used to give it a bit of Coolio on the dance floor, didn't you?
You used to give it a bit of Romeo and I'm Coolio.
Oh dear. It's going to be one of them days. Right, that was the first edition of Al versus AI. We'll do that again. Oh, you're not here tomorrow, are you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but you all right? Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing lately.
Of course I'm here.
My diary's bad enough without yours. Let's talk Premier League. As the Premier League season been a bit boring, that's what Jason Cundy said last night on the Numpty Bar alongside the Chunk. They both agree the league has lacked real quality this year. Really?
Oh, what are they talking about?
I know, they are a couple of clowns. They'll do anything to get a few listeners. Let's have a listen.
Who are the players in this Premier League that can go up and rub shoulders with the likes that you mentioned? The very best, the Tevez, the Ronaldos, the Hazards, the Lampards, the Gerrards, the Henrys. Where are these players? Who are those players now in this year? Who are those players where you can rattle them off? Agueros. Who? Name them. I want to be informed. Who are the players that can go alongside those names, saying these are the ones we're watching this year? Even Ireland this season has not been to the De Bruyne, not been to the levels. I know he's getting older, right? But who are they? Other than them, I can remember seeing right, Isak, Salah. I feel like I'm struggling. I shouldn't be.
Yeah, I know. Cole Palmer at the start of the season.
Cole Palmer's dropped off. This calendar year, Cole Palmer's dipped.
Yeah, and how can they leave Haaland out?
Haaland.
How many goals has he got? Isak, Salah, Haaland,
Van Dijk.
And Van Dijk. A couple of clowns. Couple of clowns.
Must come into the equation.
Couple of clowns.
I don't know what we're going to do with those.
Just because the league's over. That's where they're coming from.
That's exactly it.
They're bored now,
yeah.
aren't they? They're bored.
Yeah, because the league's finished. That's all I'm saying. You're right, Al.
What a joke, honestly.
You're absolutely right.
Let's have a listen to Scott, the West Ham fan, who called in last night. By the way, don't get sucked in. Don't call them. Don't get sucked in. They're winding you up. He thinks the Premier League is not as all. Well, here's another one stacked up to be. Right, Scott, join the numpties. Here we go.
Quality of the Premier League is nowhere near to what people sit there and think it is. It isn't like that. Look, if we sit there, we've got Liverpool at the moment, right? They're sitting there, 15 points in front of Arsenal, give or take? I don't know.
Yeah, 15
right?
with game in hand.
15 points. Now, look, let's put it this way. If City weren't on their 4th, 5th title charge, whatever it may have been, would there be that points gap? No. If Man United had recruited well, would they be there? No. If Chelsea didn't have all of these youngsters, would they be there? No. Right? We sit there, we lord over this Premier League at the moment. We're becoming a joke of a league.
A joke of a league. Hello, let me scratch my head here. How well are the English clubs doing in Europe?
It's the best league, right? Where I maybe take point with them is, I don't think United clearly are as strong as they have been. That goes without saying. Spurs, Arsenal, what do you think?
They're still in there.
I mean, Liverpool have been a different level.
Yeah.
City clearly aren't what they've been the last 4 or 5
Chelsea
years.
could win it. Tottenham could win in Europe.
Yeah, but
Man, you could win in Europe.
It's the best league. It's the best league by a considerable distance, I think.
I'm not saying they will, but they could. And the English sides are still in there.
Yeah, well, English sides in Europe have had all very, very good results.
Villa?
In the top.
Villa will beat Bruges, won't they?
You'd think so.
Yeah. So shut up, honestly. Do your head in. Let's look ahead to what's coming up in the show with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need for your landscaping project in stock and available for delivery. Terms and conditions apply.
Right, 6:43. I didn't mean shut up, by the way. I'm getting told off to the producer, but who cares? I get that every day. But, I just think about it. Look, the proof is in the pudding, right? The English clubs are still in Europe doing well. So don't give me all that garbage. Let's hear from you this morning. Has this season been a boring one? Have you been bored, Liverpool fans? Arsenal fans, up to a few weeks ago, you still had a hope. You thought, we can do this. Chelsea have improved. Come on, what about Newcastle? What about Forest fans? Is it boring, Forest fans? What about Brighton fans? What about Bournemouth fans? So there you go. 03 717 223344 is the number to call. Have your say. One place guaranteed is not boring is the EFL, and we'll chat that later with this ledge.
By all means enjoy it, but enjoy it by being disciplined here.
Neil Warnock, of course, and by the way, is Sheffield United. They're putting pressure on Leeds, as are Burnley, by the way.
Home tonight, Sheffield United aren't they, at home to, Bristol City, am I right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've got my horses in my head at the moment. That's right, legendary English manager Neil Warnock, who also said, if you remember, he said Arteta hasn't got what it takes to win the Premier. Will join us to talk about some of the previous sides in the Championship this past weekend. It's game on, don't worry about that. No, and what about Coventry, Frank Lampard?
Sensational.
Hey, brilliant.
By the way, what about the penalty they never got at the weekend? It's incredible. The big centre-forward knocks it by the goalie, comes out and smashes him, and they don't get a penalty.
You never sleep.
I just like to catch up.
I can't believe it. Do you not talk to your kids? It's unbelievable. He watches everything. Yes, so Neil Warnock, John, is not only that, but also, Frank, this certain... Oh, here we go. I'm looking forward to this later on. This brilliant artiste, a great storyteller, is who?
52, still got a six-pack, and drinking Cobra bombs like they're going out of fashion.
Dino, don't praise me anymore, please. Please, don't praise me anymore.
By the way, he did everything right there apart from getting my age wrong.
Let me tell you, Party Parlour is on my sofa as we speak. I thought, what's the dog doing?
He was staying a couple of miles.
Hugo was at the bottom of bed. I said, what's up with the dog? She says, Ray stayed. He's downstairs. I'm like, oh,
no way.
Hugo's like, he knew there was someone down there.
When you went in your kip, did he just set up on the couch and that was him?
Well, I don't know. I thought he was going because his place is like 3-4 mile away.
Probably couldn't get a taxi.
Probably, but Hugo told me. So anyway, hey, I hope he's still asleep. And I hope you're still asleep, Jill. Right. Yes, former Wales and Liverpool striker Dean Saunders will join us. No doubt he'll help preview a massive tie in the Champions League between Liverpool and PSG. Ali, what games are you doing this week?
I'm doing Leverkusen Munich tonight from London.
Good game,
yep.
Good game.
And then I'm at the Villa tomorrow.
Are you?
Good game.
I think Villa will be fine. I thought they were a bit fortunate over there, but I think they'll be fine.
I couldn't disagree with you. I'm not sure they deserve to win the game. I don't think they deserve to lose the game, but they get a real break with the own goal and then the penalty in the last 10 minutes. Great. And then I'm at Rangers on Thursday.
All right. Former 31-time Cheltenham Festival winner, 31, brilliant. We spoke to Charlie Brooke yesterday. He'd won. He rode one winner and trained 3, but 31-time Cheltenham winner Tony McCoy, the champ, will join us to preview all the action in what's to be a cracking day at this wonderful festival. To be honest, Tuesday, if it's not the best, it's up there with the best days.
I think it's my favourite
of the week.
I think it's my favourite.
That was a look ahead with our favourites, Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Join the club and get low trade prices. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
Not just her, but the whole squad are underperforming.
I've been there, I've been that statistic. I think it's something like 1 million girls in the UK drop out of sport every year.
Hello and welcome back to the Kickback.
You're looking a bit heavy, Callum.
Wait, that?
Oh, you've come in to start our hair.
9 minutes before 7 o'clock. Beautiful out there. A little bit grey, but the sun is coming up away over to our right, Cleve Hill. No horses yet, Ali, is there?
Nothing at the moment.
But they will be out in another 10 minutes. They'll be out there having a bit of breakfast. They're having the bacon rolls. They'll be out here shortly. Right, some of the headlines you're waking up to. Manchester United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said that some United players are not good enough and some are way overpaid, as he spoke out in the club's financial difficulties and future. What about Forest? Nottingham Forest have lost their appeal against a £750,000 fine for a social media post criticising video assistant referee Stuart Atwell. £750,000. Give us a break. Forest complained about 3 penalty decisions that went against them during a 2-0 Premier League defeat at Everton at Goodison last year, blaming Luton Town fan Atwell for the decision. And Declan Rice came to the rescue for Arsenal Old Trafford, of course, pulling off a last-ditch tackle on Hoyland to stop what looked like a certain goal. Rice then celebrated his tackle, but Adrian Dunham and Danny Murphy, well, they're not having it.
Declan Rice needs to set his standards and his targets higher. I love him, but you're tackling one of the worst strikers Man United have ever had.
Come on.
And then you're getting up and celebrating.
I don't like seeing tackles celebrate, but like that, like it's a goal, when you're doing your job. Arsenal probably do it as much as any team, but this thing about celebrating blocks and giving a corner away because you've slid in and won it back for your team. I mean, yes, celebrate a goal. It's the most euphoric thing you can do in football. Enjoy yourself, but celebrating, fist pumping and giving it out to the crowd.
When you miserable, miserable old git.
The world's gone mad.
I have to say, I'm with little Sam here. I think they are a couple of miserable gits.
What's going on with the talkSPORT presenters now? I mean, well, listen, O'Hara and Cundy having a moan, right? Murphy, right? Adrian. I mean,
well, you think Danny would know better, wouldn't you?
They've got to start lighting up, surely.
I know.
Right?
Look, he's just saved the goal, and it's like it's
a joyous occasion.
You know, that's why. You know, they're at Catford Dogs and they've just banned the racing there. There's no more racing, and we're at Cheltenham. That's why, Ali, you and me.
There must be.
I know. There's something wrong with them. There's something.
But I mean, seriously. I mean, those two, they're turning into Stadler and Waldorf, those two, aren't they?
But more than all today's biggest stories, oh dear. What's wrong with them? There's nothing else to say. Honestly. They're having to go to American football now.
A brilliant tackle.
I know.
I mean, honestly, maybe not you over the top, but it was a great tackle.
By the way, he's been a great signing, hasn't he?
Hey, great goal, wasn't it?
Great signing.
I thought the finish was
For more on all the day's biggest stories, head over to talksport.com. Right, on to Newcastle, who warmed up for the cup final against Liverpool. 1-0 victory over West Ham. Big win that for me.
Yeah.
Let's hear from someone who has written in the Mail this morning, and maybe they turn out to be gritty and not pretty, but if they want to end the 70-year domestic trophy drought, it's a very, very good morning to Craig Hope. Craig, morning.
Morning, Craig. How are you this morning?
Morning, guys. I'm very good. I must say, I wish I was there with you, though.
Oh, Craig, well, the sun's just come up.
Beautiful.
And it's going to be fantastic.
Stunning here, Craig.
And Craig, I was saying to Ali earlier, I really thought West Ham might get something in view of the weekend, but that is a big statement from Newcastle. No, we want to finish as high as we can in the Premier League, getting Europe that way, and we can't wait for the weekend. So for me, it was a great result.
It was a great win as well, Alan, but it was funny you there said, you know, it was a Newcastle's warm-up for Wembley, and I think there was that temptation that everybody who was there, who viewed it as just that, really, forgetting what a huge Premier League game it was. You know, I think we looked at it as the final public training session before the game against Liverpool on Sunday. So to that end, what can you take from it? Well, what I'll say is that the team who played, and I think Ali was at this game, so he'll know those Carabao Cup semi-finals against Arsenal, the 2-0 victories, and we came out of this not saying that Newcastle can beat Liverpool, that they will go on and beat Liverpool. There was such confidence in the way they performed over those two semi-finals. They attacked with such aggression, intent, with energy. I think the whole country was taken by them. It was like a roll back to the Kevin Keegan mid-90s entertainers. It was everybody's second favourite team. Well, where we arrive now with Newcastle, that is gone. It's very different. And I think you quoted from my Daily Mail piece there, Alan, you know, last night was gritty, not pretty. And if they are to win on Sunday, they're going to have to do it in a different way. It isn't necessarily going to be easy on the eye. They're going to have to come together, that band of brothers. And last night showed that. So that might just have been the blueprint.
Craig, you don't think they're going to have a go at Liverpool? For me, that's if Newcastle can win it, I think they've got to have a go from the first whistle. I really just take it to them and hopefully get an early goal.
But I think to do that, Alan, it's dependent on having Anthony Gordon in the team. You saw those 2 semi-finals against Arsenal. It was Gordon and Isak together who led that aggression from the front. Well, Gordon isn't there. He's suspended. And Isak probably isn't at the level he was 4 or 5 weeks ago. He's missed 1 or 2 games since then. There's a little knock he's carrying. You saw last night it wasn't the Alexander Isak we know. So it's all very well saying they should go and do that. I agree with you, Alan, but you've got to ask the question, can they do that? They actually can't right now. They're going to have to play to their strengths, what they're capable of. And what we saw, what they're capable of right now, was last night against West Ham, which for an hour was an awful watch. It was a spectacle. I hope you guys were looking at the horses, not looking at the football. It wasn't a great game at all, but they found a way to chisel victory from it. That's what they're going to have to do on Sunday.
Craig, you talk about finding a way to chisel a victory. It was amazing. They're up against, without doubt, the informed team in Europe. I saw them last week, mate, and if ever was an example of a team just working and getting a result, it was against PSG, because PSG, Craig, you probably saw it, mate. Yeah. Absolutely battered Liverpool. Absolutely battered them. 28 shots to 2. However, how many times have we said that the most important and the only stat that matters, they found a way to win the game? So is that even more concerning for the Newcastle lads, that when even they're not playing particularly well and they're getting outplayed, they're still managing to find a way to win a game?
Well, I wouldn't say it was concern. I would actually say it's a degree of encouragement. I watched the game. I listened to your commentary, Ali, the PSG match, and you saw Liverpool then. You've got a tendency when you look from afar and you see a team's results to assume that they're playing wonderfully well. Liverpool aren't playing wonderfully well. You talk to your colleagues on Merseyside and what you say is that they're consistent, they're organised, they're getting the job done. They've got a little bit of strength and depth. So to that end, Sunday might not actually be the greatest spectacle again in terms of a cup final. But I do think all hope is not lost for Newcastle. The point I made at the top there was, I think everyone on Tyneside was so full of confidence on the back of that 9-match winning run. Again, they were capturing hearts and minds, Newcastle. Well, because of injury, because of suspension, because of a loss of form of some individuals, that sweet moment, that is gone. But it doesn't mean they can't win on Sunday.
Craig, just tell me a little bit. I've got to break, but just the city centre, the Toon, is it black and white everywhere ahead of the cup final?
Well, that's another thing as well, Alan. Liverpool are bouncing through now. They don't even know it's the Carabao Cup final on Sunday. They'll wake up on Wednesday, right, OK, what's next? It's Wembley. I tell you, in Newcastle for 5 weeks now, you've had shop fronts black and white with murals of Isak, murals of Tonali. It's all anybody is talking about. Cup final tickets. Where are you watching it? Can you get me a ticket? So, yeah, it's everything. It's absolutely everything. But I just think the injuries and the loss of Gordon last week, that might have just taken a little bit of pressure off.
We'll see, Craig. Thank you very much
Enjoy
this morning. Mate. Thanks, Craig. Hope there from the Mail. Dom King from the Mail coming up as well. It's just after 7. We'll have Lizzie Kelly and some guy who claims he knows about horses. And Neil Warnock coming up around 7:30. Right, coming up to 7 o'clock, news and sports headlines coming next.
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch that we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs had been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no, which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest pitch at the City Ground is a big one. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park. And don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards. So do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows. But as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Good morning, just gone 7:05. Lovely out there. No horses yet. This is a big day today, by the way. Tuesday, for me, is one of the best days. Tuesday or Friday, the best day.
Probably my favourite.
Today is special. Rupert and Lizzie coming up in a tick. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark Rewards Week. Save up to £1,000 in selected cars this week. Ali's alongside me. Dean Saunders will join us at 8 o'clock as well. On the way for you this morning, we'll continue to build up the biggest race event of the year. Kicks off today. Tony McCoy, the champ, will take a look ahead to a jam-packed day of racing. From legends of the track to legends of the dugout. Friend of the show, Neil Warnock, will be with us, giving his view on the championship title race. Whoa, Leeds, what are you doing? And from internationals such as Joe Hart, John O'Shea, and Dino will be with us, so don't go anywhere. Now, though, all eyes. You got to look tonight. What a game this could be at Anfield.
In all the years I've watched football, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that.
As Michael Jordan said once, the harder you work, the more luck you have.
He's Darwin Núñez running in. Harvey Elliott. Oh! Liverpool have scored. So much against a runner play. You cannot begin to describe it. Floodlight robbery in the parting prance.
I think when we would have had a draw over here, we would have been already the lucky one. We're definitely going to need our fans.
Here comes Barcola across the face to goal. Dembele turns it in.
All it takes is a bad half for about 45 minutes and your Champions League can be over.
The firepower they have, Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, Ousmane Dembele.
Magical and mythical the nights are, the European nights at Anfield.
They're in the box seat for a place in the quarter-final.
Liverpool, I think that certainly there's a double on there and perhaps a treble. I certainly think they can win the Champions League. I don't see any reason why not.
What has happened to Liverpool this year has been exceptional. By far and away, the best team in Europe is Liverpool.
The drama, the tension, you can feel it oozing through every pore.
Yeah, after a crazy first leg out in Paris, where Liverpool somehow scraped by and come away with a 1-0 victory, a great victory, we're all set for an absolute cracker of a second leg. And we'll be right across it on talkSPORT. Adrian Dunham brings you all the goals as they go in live on the kickoff show from 7 o'clock tonight. Arnie Slot, what did they say there?
Listen,
we're not having that, Arnie.
No, Arnie.
Don't you play golf in Holland? We're not having it.
I know Arnie listens to the show on a regular basis. Arnie, that is the only first, and it's the first mistake he's made this season. It's the only mistake he made this season because, in fact, Arnie, it was Gary Player, the wonderful South African golfer, that said the more I practice, the better I see me get.
And one thing about Gary Player,
luckier to see me
he
get.
can still get in his golf trousers he wore when he was 17. Ali, you and me, no?
I can't get into the socks I was wearing when I was 17. Right?
Talking of socks, I can't get any socks.
I know. Remember you and I in that discussion how difficult it is.
Oh dear, honestly.
But how are you washing your feet in the shower? I'm a disaster, man. I've got to hold on to the wall on the side to wash my feet. It's a disgrace. See, back in the day, man, I was just flicking them up with my shoulder. I was washing them up there.
Ali, I've got a brilliant shower in the house in Broadway. Oh,
you said that's piping hot.
It's brilliant. Massive big head, a bit like mine. Massive big head. And it's just magic, honestly.
It'll need to be some size of shower head to cover that burn that yours will tell you.
Well, put it this way, you'd have to close your mouth showering because you'd be drowned in about 3 minutes. Right. I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait. To give us more, let's bring in the Mail's Merseyside-based reporter, Dominic King. Dom, morning.
Dom, very good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's lovely to be in person with you.
Hey, great to see you, mate.
Yeah. I look worse in person than I do on Zoom at 7
o'clock. Do you know something, though? You're looking well, mate. I've got to say.
We've tried. By the way, how nice is this?
Oh, what a place to be today.
It's a shame you can't stay from 10, Dom. It really is a big shame. Invitation only.
Listen, mate, I did I was in Paris. I did the game. And I think a lot of people were really, really surprised, if not shocked, at just how dominant PSG were for the entire game. Never mind parts of the game. However, many times we say that good teams, great teams find a way to soak it up and hit them in the break, and that's exactly what happened.
They did. Do you know, I think I spoke to Alan on Thursday morning about it. That was the Paris Saint-Germain performance I've been waiting 10 years to see.
Yeah.
They were absolutely fabulous.
Yep.
Young, energetic. The manager's brilliant. The manager's absolutely top draw. And only the performance of Alisson's life has kept Liverpool in the tie.
But, I can see it different tonight, Tom. It's Anfield. It's European night. I can just see...
I'm not sure.
I think Paris are a top side. I really enjoy the way they play the football, and there's a togetherness about them that they've been missing for a few years.
Without doubt.
But I still think Liverpool at home.
No, Liverpool
with that slender lead, I think Liverpool score tonight.
Liverpool are definitely favourites, and the way they played on Saturday suggested all eyes were on tonight. I thought the way they turned it around in the second half was would just give them a little pep to go into it. But I don't know. I keep thinking back to a game 5 years ago at Anfield when Atletico Madrid came. I'm not making comparisons in the style, but I just think PSG have got an edge about them, and it's not going to be over. They've got nothing to lose.
Do you know? I agree with Dom. Actually, I fancy Liverpool go through. However, I looked at the PSG middle of the park, and I've got it written down for the team last time. It was Neves, Vitinha, and Fabian Ruiz.
Vitinha, I love.
I thought the three of them were absolutely different class in possession of the ball. That'll be the thing. We've seen, I don't know what you think, Dom, the last couple of games I've seen Liverpool against, generally speaking, top four sides was Manchester City and Newcastle. And I thought they were extremely comfortable. Without being brilliant, I just thought they were comfortable. They probably looked as though they had another gear to go up. My point is, I think, and you might be saying the same thing, what you're saying, I think Liverpool might need to go up that gear tonight.
Yeah,
because they're playing a far better team.
Yeah, definitely. I thought the way Liverpool defended in the second half, there was a point, I was watching it with my boys, and I said about 65 minutes in, I said Liverpool could win this 1-0. And they were looking at me saying, what? I said, you could just sort of feel the way the game was going. It was like PSG were throwing everything that they had at them, and there wasn't any sort of scrapes from 65 minutes onwards. I don't know whether Liverpool might have broken the spirit that night.
Yeah.
But
I know.
I think they'll hunt them down tonight. I think they'll close them, they'll press them, and if Liverpool score first, it's
the ground will be
over.
electric.
Oh,
it'll be absolutely electric.
No, absolutely. And Dom, I don't know if you didn't see it or didn't read the piece. Jim Ratcliffe's talking about Man United. What do you make of that?
Well, I was listening to you on the drive down this morning. It is an absolute disgrace what has happened to the Manchester United. Put aside any rivalries between Liverpool, Manchester, wherever. Manchester United if you have anything about you about that loves football, you know what Manchester United stands for, and what those fans are going through, and how that club has been mismanaged is an absolute disgrace.
What's happening? We were talking about Shaban this morning.
Well, she said about the 175 grand a year body language expert.
Yeah,
I mean that's unbelievable.
Yeah. Just what is going on?
I know.
It is gross financial mismanagement, and the people who are suffering are the ones who are going through the turnstiles every week, and following them up and down the country.
And Dom, one thing I would criticise Sir Jim for, due diligence. He must have seen that. He must have looked at the wage bill. He must have looked at the debt. He must have looked at what the Glazers taken out. So I'm sorry, he's crying over spilt milk now.
Yeah, and he also, he's not the full owner, is he?
No.
They're still there.
See, that's the point.
They're still there.
That's the point. So they're sitting, from where I'm sitting, I didn't have a great knowledge of it, and I still don't, but from where I'm sitting right now, the financial mismanagement is certainly been there under their watch, and now they're still sitting over the pond collecting their dough.
Yeah.
Is that how it's going?
Absolutely scandalous. Scandalous.
Dom, what do you fancy today? Have you got a
what don't I fancy? Do you know what? Whether you have a penny on it or anything, or you don't have anything at all, just make sure you're either listening to talkSPORT or you're watching ITV or somewhere at 4 o'clock to watch Constitution Hill against Brighter Days Ahead. I was at Kempton a few weeks ago. I saw his last public gallop. Now he was working against two inferior stablemates. Never going to be a contest, but my God, what he did that day morning. He just took the breath away, and I hope he takes everybody's breath away.
So Rupert's tipped a 21 shot in the race, so we'll get that later. Dom, you're back tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
It'll be a non-runner. Look, he's sitting there with his Villa scarf on as well, the numpty. And
Rupert non-runner belt.
And he's just declared he's not going to Villa Park. What a disgrace.
I'm going.
I can't wait. I'm getting up there. I'm coming back. Now he's saying, I can't make it. It's too much for me. I'm getting too old. There you go. Dom, brilliant. Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Enjoy your day, Dom. Good to see you,
Rupert and Lizzie coming next, 7:15.
You seem to have been running around upsetting people, Spencer, you treacherous little hound.
Boom! Like that. That's where he was getting stuck.
Hits him on the ropes, 30 seconds to go.
Opinions are opinions. They're like backsides. Everybody's got one.
I stand by that. I still think it was a terrible decision.
Well, it takes two to tango.
Sun is out here, day one, beautiful Cheltenham racecourse, well, basked in sunshine now.
The horses out yet, mate?
Well,
yes.
Are they?
Yes.
You got one?
Yep, a good few.
Is that Burger Bar open yet?
No, not yet.
Oh,
no.
That's poor. That's
there
poor.
Must be, that's
poor.
There must be about 30 or 40 out there now.
Yeah, Willie Mullins, we'll get Lizzie and Rupert's
I'm
funeral, but I'm told he's got about 60 horses over. Would that be right?
Yeah, my sister's actually working for him this week.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, she's...
And more than that, I think.
Yeah.
I reckon he'll have more.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
We've got 6 in the first race. You know, just to.
Yeah.
Well,
break
talk about
things
that.
in gently.
We can't wait for it. We cannot wait. So, Ali's alongside me. Soccer Aid for UNICEF is back, by the way. And talkSPORT delighted to announce that we'll be broadcasting live coverage of the event again from Old Trafford on what a glorious day as well. The 15th of June. Just a special day. Special.
Well, I know. I've had a couple of good days recently on the 15th of June.
I know. My birthday. Former heavyweight champion Tyson Fury will co-manage England alongside Wayne Rooney. So Wayne will be delighted with that. With new faces this year, including Joe Hart. We're going to talk to Joe.
I'll be no messing with that dugout, will I?
Steph Houghton, Tony Duggan, and who else we got? Italian legend Leonardo
Bonucci,
Leonardo Bonucci, Juventus, wasn't it?
Great player, yes, centre-back.
As well as returning stars Gary Neville, Paul Scholes and Jill Scott. One Direction star Louis Tomlinson is also back 8 years after his original appearance. Will be live in the studio this afternoon on Drive Time with Goldstein and Darren Bent. Drive will also broadcast some Soccer Aid training in June as the boys get through the paces alongside all the ex-pros and celebs. Former Tottenham boss Harry Redknapp was speaking to talkSPORT of being a Soccer Aid gaffer and his history at Old Trafford.
It's great. It's fantastic fun. You know, we get there, everyone gets together for a few days, and the game's always good, and you know everybody wants to win. Make no mistake about it. Everybody wants to win. The atmosphere, the winning team and the losing, the two dressing rooms after a game, so different. And I was just saying there, I've seen, you know, the dressing room when you've won, when you've got people that have won Champions League, won everything, going off their heads like little, you know, jumping round singing Championes, you know, all dancing around the dressing room. They've won everything in the game. That's how excited they get about it.
Back at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Worried about that? What's your record like at the Theatre of Dreams?
What in general?
In general, what was it like with Spurs?
No.
I don't imagine you got a lot of points up there with Saints back in the day.
No, I mean, back in Fergie's days, it was always tough going there, wasn't it? But you know, I had a few results there. Knocked them out of the cup when I was at Portsmouth. Stopped them doing the treble that year again. Probably. Did they do the double that? I think they did. I know Alex was really upset when we beat them that day. Yeah, and I went there with West Ham the day when Barthez tried. Di Canio went through one-on-one with the keeper, and Barthez went, referee. He thought, waiting for Di Canio to look round. He was then going to dive on the ball, but Parlo didn't fall for that one and stuck it in the back of the net. So yeah, I've had some good days, but also been on the end of a few beltings there because back in the day they were a fantastic team, weren't they?
And, of course, Harry will be down at Cheltenham, as will, you mentioned Sir Alex there, that Mr. McCoist might be having a little glass of red with later on.
He's coming along with Jed next couple of days, so I'm looking forward to seeing the gaffer. Jed, yep.
Yeah, for tickets to Soccer Aid, it's getting bigger and bigger. My mate, We Shop, they sponsored it last year, said it was the best thing they've ever done.
Yeah.
So, tickets to Soccer Aid 2025, go to socceraid.org.uk/tickets. That's socceraid.org.uk/tickets. The game takes place on Father's Day, Sunday the 15th of June at Old Trafford. Adult tickets available, 20 quid. Juniors from a tenner. Tickets include access to a pre-game fan zone and player arrivals area. Brilliant. Okay, 7:24 is day one. The sun is shining. What a day we have ahead of us. The Cheltenham Festivals. It's time for a special edition of our weekly feature, Curse of the Racing Commentator.
I put a spell on you.
You? I know it's kind of up there, and that music just takes us away back then again. I mean, it's...
I don't know, a bit of Nina, I don't know.
No, I like it.
Anyway, it's time now to congratulate Lizzie. Well done, beating Rupert again. Well done.
She doesn't beat me.
Oh,
she's got a worse record. When did you last tip a winner?
I honestly
Sorry to be so rude.
I honestly can't remember.
Well, I at least had one last week. Okay, you went, but my runner yesterday was a non-runner.
1
you know what I
on.
mean?
That's not a bad result for you.
Yeah, it's a good result, Rupert. In fact, keep going for non-runners.
It's a non-loser.
The races we're going to preview this morning are 2 o'clock, the Arco. Great race.
Yes.
Some people say the best race of the whole meeting, the Arco. They fly over them fences. Then 3:20, the Mayor's Hurdle. Richie Rich could be in the winner's enclosure. And 4 o'clock, the Champion Hurdle. What a race. To preview these races, we're pitting our talkSPORT racing commentators against each other to pick their winners. A very good morning to Rupert Ding Dong Bell, known as Red Wine Bell, and 2 times Cheltenham Festival winner Lizzie Kelly. Morning, guys.
Good morning, guys. How are we this morning?
This red wine is, I'm again, line lawyers are on to you. I had Ribena last night.
No, you didn't. You've been grassed up.
Why?
Malbec Bell, you had about 3 bottles, I'm told. Yes, I'm told you had about 3 bottles, staggered off to bed.
I don't think it was...
Malbec Bell.
Alone, thank God. Now, to brief... So here's how
Mrs. Bell's just been on the phone to me, so anyway...
Oh, she's here. She's not she's not travelling.
She's waiting for a mattress to arrive, just to share some domestic bliss with you. So anyway,
well, you shared the mattress with Lizzie. Wait on. Discuss 3 of the races that are live on talkSPORT this afternoon. All they need to do is a winner of each race. They'll get 3 points for first place, 1 point for the horse places, if it places. So it's as simple as that. The first race we're going to be picking is the 2 o'clock, the Arco Novices Chase, live on talkSPORT this afternoon. Lizzie, before we talk about it, can you remember some great Arco winners of the past?
Not off the top of my head, no. Put the kettle on.
Rupert,
Edwards.
Oh, that's Altior might have won it. And we're just making it up as we go along here, aren't we?
What was the great Moscow Flyer? Was he not the Arco? Or?
Well, he was the Queen Mother Champion Chase, definitely. But Dom, where are you? You might. Did he win the Arco? Thanks. Thank God the Daily Mail's here to help us out. But anyway,
right, Lizzie, let's do the first race then. Who do you fancy in the Arco?
I actually want to take on Majbra with Lo de Sud.
And me.
He was a high-class handicapper, and Majbra is only a 5-year-old. No 5-year-old has won this since Void is in 2006, and 16 5-year-olds have tried in that time.
Wow. No doubt you're going for the odds-on favourite, Rupert, are you?
You're absolutely right, because J.P. McManus, incidentally, has never won this race.
No way.
No, never won this race.
Wow.
There are a few races. He hasn't also won the Champion Chase. But I'm going to go for Majbra because statistics there are damn lies in statistics. So there we go. I'm going to stick with Majbra just to make sure that JP finally knocks off the Arkle on his roll of honour.
Well, I've just won my first tenner of the day one. Dino's got a cardigan on. That's a tenner to me. Next up, the 3.
I love it, Dino.
The Mayor's Hurdle, live on talkSPORT. Rupert, you can go first here, the Mayor's Hurdle.
Right, I'm going for an each-way selection. Joyeuse, Nicky Henderson, again, JP McManus, but this horse bolted up in a race at Newbury last time, is definitely improving and definitely can take on Lossiemouth. I know this horse has been chosen to go in for this rather than the Champion Hurdle, but Joyeuse definitely is the one to be on. Nicky
Nice
Henderson.
price, Rupert.
Correct.
Bromhead and
He's not been in great
Rachel
form lately,
Black.
has he, coming into the festival?
Yeah, but he never is. Don't panic. He always gets his horses spot on for Cheltenham. In fact, I'd be more worried if he was in better form in sort of February. This horse has got some really good form in France, and the form of the Grade 3 that she won at Leopardstown has worked out really well.
Here's one for you, Rupert, and this is not part of the quiz. How many horses do you reckon JP's got? I was told this yesterday.
270.
Try 3 times that, or certainly double that.
Cheap. How many?
Over 600.
Whoa,
Over
that's
600.
a training bill, isn't it?
Can you believe that? It's amazing, isn't it?
I mean,
but by the way, he puts his money where his mouth is.
And then he bought New Land for over $1 million.
Yeah,
cheap.
Yeah, amazing. I was astonished yesterday. Right, the final race, the big one, the Champion Hurdle, live on talkSPORT. It's all about Constitution Hill. Lizzie, favourite?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Constitution Hill. I think that Brighter Days Ahead will push him all the way, and I think it'll be a really interesting race, but I don't think there's an angle tactically that's going to beat Constitution Hill. I think he's got speed, he's got stamina. I think Brighter Days Ahead will give her a really good run for his money, though.
Rupert, 2-horse race?
It's a bit harsh to go with such a... I would want to go for Constitution Hill, but for the sake of this, I'm going to go for Burdett Road. Was trained by my brother to win at Royal Ascot. I think might just be good enough to get into a place. I know there are only 7 runners, but I even think could get second is a big price. So I'm going to go for Burdett Road each way, just for the sake. I want Constitution Hill to win, but Burdett Road to come second.
Okay, let's see how we do today. The sun is shining. It's day 1. That concludes day 1 of the Curse of the Racing Commentator. For actual tips that you should pay attention to, stay tuned for AP McCoy and Lizzie, of course, who's with us at 9:30 to give us his naps. 7:30.
Not good enough and probably overpaid. Nope, not the verdict on my annual review. That's how Sir Jim Ratcliffe described some of Man United's players. An explosive interview from him, but could the club actually have gone out of business by the end of the year?
They weren't going to go bust because they are owned by Jim Ratcliffe, Britain's richest man, and the Glazers. So they were never going under. But his point was that on paper, I'm quoting him, unless we'd made some pretty drastic decisions, we were going to, we were actually going to run out of cash on paper.
And it looks like all that penny pinching might have miraculously freed up some money to go towards a brand new stadium. Old Trafford's days are numbered. We understand they'll unveil plans to build a new 100,000-seater stadium today. The Guardian's Jamie Jackson told us more.
We went to the SoFi Stadium I think it's in Inglewood in LA, and they were looking at that then amongst other stadiums around the world, United to start, and that is a state-of-the-art stadium, and that's like basically a model.
The good news keeps coming for United. Their arch rivals Liverpool could fire themselves into the Champions League quarter-finals by the end of the night. Meanwhile, West Ham's 2-game winning streak came to an abrupt end in the Premier League last night, although Graham Potter thought there was a foul in the build-up to Newcastle's winner.
Yeah, we're disappointed with that because I thought it was a tight game. To concede the goal in that manner was disappointing from our perspective because we felt there was a clear push.
We're building up to a huge first day at Cheltenham today, so stay tuned into talkSPORT on your smart TV.
Good morning, 24 minutes to 8 o'clock. Sun is shining, day one of the festival. talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark's Awards Week. Choose from 3 awards when you buy a car today. Ali's women, now things are heating up at the top of the championship. Ooh, are they? So it's time to welcome this man to the show.
You've got to die to get 3 points!
That's it, son, Roy Cropper. Well done, son, up there, Roy Cropper. I go out when you carry a bag.
4 years after relegation, for only the second time in 56 years, probably against all the odds, Cardiff are back in the top flight.
My team is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
We have 10 new bakers in the bake-off tent, just bursting to put buns in their ovens.
So without further ado,
On
Neil,
your marks,
get set,
bake!
Okay, let's say a very good morning. I wish he was with us here. Neil Warnock joins us. Neil, a very good morning.
Good morning, Neil. How are you?
Hey, Ali. No, listen, I can only do it once in my lifetime, Alan, that that really did me that day. Only one day did me, Ali, there with him. I had to laugh. I was reading the papers yesterday, Ali, and there was a massive headline. Apparently this year there's going to be 50% more Guinness sold than there has ever been in the history of Cheltenham. How about that? 380,000 pints.
Neil, that was because Big Al had a Thursday off last year.
Yeah, that's right, son. Yeah, dead right. Yeah. Anyhow,
Neil,
right.
I was talking about...
Well, a great mate, thank you.
Tom of the EFL, surely Leeds are not going to blow this, are they?
Well, it's amazing, Neil. Before you answer the question, I actually watched the game on Sunday. I thought the goalkeeper from Portsmouth, I think Nicholas Schmid, his name is, I thought he had a terrific game, but I thought Portsmouth were excellent, particularly second half.
Yeah, they've done well. They've got one of the best records since Christmas in the whole league.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be that Leeds' hardest game. But to be fair, Ali, crikey, how can he not give a penalty, Phil Jones, there for that? I mean, that's one of the worst penalty decisions I've ever seen, mate.
Yeah.
And, you know, so you need a little bit of luck as well. You need the right decisions going your way. Pereira should have scored a couple as well. But all credit to Portsmouth. Fabulous atmosphere. And it is, like you say, whether people will be talking about them blowing up now, but they're all nervous at the top there. I think probably Burnley's relaxing, you know, but the fixtures are thick and fast now this week. Two more games each this week, and once again on
well, Neil, let Ali talk about Sheffield United. I want to talk about Burnley. People are saying, Burnley are boring, they don't score enough. But you wouldn't mind that record, will you? Goals conceded.
10.
Phenomenal.
10 goals they've lost in 36 games. That's unbelievable.
You build from the back, don't you, Alan? And they've got the best record by a mile. And they just come in steady. They brought the lad Edwards in. I love him, mate. And he's going to create chances for them. And I just think that they've got half a chance now. I don't think anybody can say who it's going to be. You can say Leeds will blow it, but I mean, I think Daniel's a good manager, and I still think Leeds will go up me. And but I do think Burnley are the dark horses now.
Well, you got to put Coventry in there, coming with a wet sail. But your old boys, the Blades, the Blades are not giving it away. You know, they're keeping up the chase.
Well, another 3 points, wasn't it, against Preston at the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, Preston had some good chances as well. It'll be good this week because they've got Bristol City at home, which they should win, and then they've got Sheffield Wednesday away on Sunday. And that's a cracking game. There's no
that's at Hillsborough.
There's no love lost at Hillsborough. Yeah, at Hillsborough. So that's a tough weekend for them. That. So it'll be interesting how they go on this week. Hey,
what
listen,
was saying
Alan,
then, Neil,
go on.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. I'm going to say I've been looking at my horses. So I've been looking at my horses all week to try and give you the name of a. I've got one that I want you to put 10 pence each way on for me, if you don't mind. That Close Brothers mares hurdles. I know everybody's tipped these others, and Lossymouth is the favourite, but Take No Chances is a lovely horse. So 10 pence each way, will you put me on that?
What do you mean, nice ears or nice tail? What do you mean a lovely horse?
He just looks lovely. I like him, honestly. So it's just, I just thought I'd tell you that's all right. Just like his look of it.
Wait, Neil, I've got to say, you sound like my old mum and Grand National Day.
I am. Listen, I put my first horse, Ali, I put 2 and 6 on the Nicholas Silver because he was a grey horse, and we had a black and white telly, and I wanted to watch this horse in the Grand National, and I don't know how much I won. I won quite a lot of money, 2 and 6 at them days. So it's I always go for the pretty ones. It's like today, there's one called William, which is my lad.
Neil, what's happening this week and weekend? Are you working? Are you doing a bit?
No,
I'm going to
watch. Well, I'm going to watch Torquay tonight. They're playing Salisbury tonight, and a cracking. I rather enjoyed it, going back in time a little bit into that level of football. But they get nearly 4,000 crowds at home, and it's a good atmosphere. So I am enjoying that. Paul Watt's doing a great job managing there. So I'm not doing anything untoward, and just relaxing really, and looking at Europe this week, and it'll be interesting, that PSG game, won't it, with Liverpool? They were so good.
What do you think, Neil? Because Neil, I've got to say, I was so impressed with PSG in the game in Paris. I couldn't believe how totally dominant they were. And I know Liverpool won the game, and that's what it's all about. But I tell you what, PSG were excellent.
They were, and you look at the players they've got. The only thing I think is when you are at Anfield with that crowd behind you, I think the whole game changes there, really. And it's a European night, so I'm hoping that the crowd get them going. Because if they don't start well, like they did against Southampton, PSG could score 2 or 3 in 10 minutes, couldn't they? The way they played. So it'd be interesting. I think the people under pressure, Ali, this week are Man United and Spurs, I think. Both teams.
Neil, you wouldn't be happy here with Dave Stevens. He just walked in the box with a Celtic tie on. Can you believe that?
With a what? Shirt and tie?
No, he's got a
Celtic tie. Oh, a Celtic tie.
He's shaking his head.
Yeah, and a Celtic watch. Look, he's got a green watch on. In fact, he's robbing a Sherwood. Look at him.
Yeah.
Barry's just text Ali as well. He says, "You tell that Warnock to stay away from our club. I've got the job."
Don't you
tell
buy
you what,
it?
Neil, it was some result.
Don't you buy
it? Was some result in Fenerbahce, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah, don't you buy it, son. We're up against it at the moment, but don't buy it, son. All right. Just let him have his pleasure. Hey, can I just say, Alan, the best thing when I thought about it this morning when it's 6 o'clock, I was up on the dot. the best thing for me when you got into the studio before you started and everybody were looking at all the switches and things, looking down onto that course with the mist just rising, with the sunshine. Has it done it today?
It's stunning.
Yeah,
listen, Neil, it's absolutely beautiful. I'm not kidding you. The sun is just coming over Cleef Hill as we speak, and there must be, Neil, a rough estimate, I would say 30 horses out doing a little bit of a loosen in the centre of the track. It is I'm actually, as soon as we come off, I'm going out to take some pictures. That's how nice it is. It's gorgeous out there today.
Well, have a good time.
Neil, have a good day, and good luck to Torquay
Great to
tonight.
talk, Neil.
Thank you.
Enjoy Torquay tonight.
Cheers.
There you go, Daddy Cool, Neil Warnock, missing Cheltenham. Okay, coming up 7:45 on talkSPORT.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. From excavators to skips or cement mixers to pressure washers, Travis Perkins Hire has all your landscaping needs covered.
On breakfast this morning. We're going to be joined by the final 2 hours of the show by the only Welshman that can't sing. He's former Wales, Liverpool and Villa striker Dean Saunders, and he's fallen madly in love with my co-host. Oh, no.
Oh, look, it's Ali McCoist. Question of sport. He's got the magic eyes. He's got the banter. Everyone likes him.
Unbelievable. Ali's number one fan, Dean Saunders, will be with us in the Coral Box from 8 o'clock. We'll also be joined by a man who knows a thing or two about how to come up that hill in front at Cheltenham. This man, this legend.
Synchronised for AP McCoy, John O'Neill and JP McManus won the Gold Cup.
He's won a total of 31 races at the festival, claimed victory in the Gold Cup twice, Mr. Mulligan in 1997, and 16 years later on, synchronised. AP McCoy will be with us. We're going to be joined by a pair of footballers who won a combined 7 Premier League titles between them, Joe Hart, John O'Shea. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins Hire. Don't you dare go anywhere.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. It's easy to hire at Travis Perkins with a Travis Perkins trade account.
You seem to have been running around upsetting people, Spencer, you treacherous little hound.
Boom! Like that. That's where he was getting stuck.
Hits him on the ropes, 30 seconds to go.
Opinions are opinions. They're like backsides. Everybody's got one.
I stand by that. I still think it was a terrible decision.
Well, it takes two to tango.
Good morning, 10 minutes to 8 o'clock, talkSPORT breakfast, beautiful from the Coral Box. And what a day yesterday was up at Jackdaws with John Joe. John Joe and Jackie excelled, didn't they?
Always do, don't they? I mean,
excelled.
I wasn't there. I don't...
Ali, it was brilliant.
Yeah, I know I don't get invited to that one, but I was here on the Tuesday.
No, you do get invited.
No,
you just can't be bothered.
I'm joking. It sounded great, mate, and the hospitality that John Joe has provided.
By the way, John Joe's had a brilliant year so far. Mm-hmm. I mean, a brilliant year. So I reckon his horse will run well. It's just a little outside tip. You know, here at the festival, he might have a couple of winners.
Oh, you never know.
Well, AP will know, because I think one of them is John.
He's
JP.
coming at 9:30, isn't he?
Some of the headlines you're waking up to this morning. United owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said that some United players are not good enough, simple as that, and some are overpaid, as he spoke out on the club's financial difficulties in future. United fans, we want to hear from you, your thoughts. Are you happy with Sir Jim for doing this interview, letting you know what really is behind the scenes? Is Jim running your club into the ground? As Neil Warner says, he doesn't 100% own it, so it's not all down to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Give us a call, have your say, 03717 223344. Stuart Pearce, great news this. Has been discharged from hospital after an 8-day stay. Crikey. Tried to go home after a health scare on a flight back from Vegas. The England legend will speak for the first time on White and Jordan, who follows at 10 o'clock.
You should have seen, sorry for interrupting you before you read that, you should have seen and heard the reception that Piercy got at Forest on Saturday.
Heard it was brilliant.
It was magic.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was?
Psycho.
It was everything you'd expect it to be. You know, he got a brilliant reception, as he thoroughly deserved and warranted.
Yeah, brilliant. It's been a rough run of form from for Chelsea's Cole Palmer. 14 goals in the league for Chelsea, but no goal involvement since mid-Jan now. Listen, he's a top player. Don't worry about that.
I know.
Listen, a penalty, it doesn't matter. As soon as he got a penalty again, he'll say, give me the ball. Yeah. Yesterday on Drive, Darren Bent said that the England midfielder has become a victim of his own success.
Because of how good he's been, right? And we are talking about, elite level performances since he's been at Chelsea. Unfortunately, to maintain those levels of performance was always going to be difficult. I mean, the guy last season scored 25 goals and has 15 assists in all comps.
How many's got? 14 this season?
14 and 6 in all comps, right, this season.
That's still amazing, right, for someone that's not a striker.
But last year, 25 goals and 15 assists.
That is upset.
He was, unless you're Messi or Ronaldo or someone of that, you're never going to just stay up there. At some point, Salah's doing it as well, so I put him up there as well. But at some point, you are going to come back to earth a little bit. And for Cole Palmer this season, it is a little bit of that.
There you go, Darren Bent and Andy Goldstein.
He's right, by the way, Benty. Yeah, doesn't happen very often, but he got that one absolutely spot on. I think to be fair to Cole Palmer, he has been brilliant.
Yeah.
But
you know what I love about Ali? He's very aware of what's around him when the ball comes into him. He'll always take it away from the defender, whatever side he's behind him.
Yes.
Very aware, clever player.
His awareness, his touch, taking on the half turn.
He loves a little dummy as well, goes to play, goes to shoot.
He sees it, he's one of these players that see it. Very good.
Okay, the sun is shining, day one. Let's look ahead to a week at Cheltenham.
2025 Cheltenham preview on talkSPORT. Don't miss out on the atmosphere, the passion, and what's on the line. Visit cheltenham.co.uk to find out more. Nothing feels like Cheltenham.
So, Alistair, we're not talking bets or gambling or anything like that, but Cheltenham. Where does Cheltenham, as a festival, it's the World Cup of racing, isn't it? Really, where does it rank? In terms of Ryder Cup, the Ashes, the World Cup, the Euros. Where does it rank for you?
What a question! What a question! Right, it's not up there with the World Cup because the World Cup's fantastic. Right, that for me, obviously, a football man, World Cup wins it. However, after that, it comes in.
Ryder Cup was good, wasn't it? Rome. How good was that?
Oh, you and I absolutely loved that, didn't we? I mean, it was absolutely superb, and we're looking forward to where are we going for the next one? Is it America? We've got New York.
Yeah, we've got. I was on to BA the other day, and they said they'll look after us.
Well, there you are.
Yeah,
that's great. So we'll be doing that. That's clear. We'll be doing that from the States. You and I, we're free up, and we'll get a wee invite for Dino as well. Take him on.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ollie the producer's not coming.
No.
No.
But the thing is, we really enjoyed it, and the Italians looked after us, and I would expect the Americans to do the same.
We've been produced by Captain James T. Kirk. Is that his name? What's his name again over there? The American guy.
Well, right.
American football, NFL. What's his name?
It's up there. What about the Ashes? I don't mind the Ashes. You wouldn't have the Ashes up there, would you? See, I would have the Ashes up there.
No.
I would have the Ashes up there. I'd have a Ryder Cup up there. Cheltenham, they're all my kind of. Bit of Wimbledon.
The Euros, no?
Yeah. But the Euros, because we're football. Wimbledon will be up there as well. British Open. Yeah.
But the Cheltenham Gold Cup and today, Champion Hurdle,
Champion
even the first race, when the tapes go up, you wait
How long
the
have you
roar.
been coming here?
Do you know what? Well, I've been working 27 years at talkSPORT, so it's definitely over 20 years I've been coming here, because I came here as a footballer as well.
Oh, I think the first time I was here was late 80s. Well, I know it was. Graham Souness fined me.
Did he?
No.
Hey, did you see Graham the other day? I was thinking of you.
Not for the first time.
Did you see him the other day? We spoke to Harry and Spencer down on a pool, sandbags.
Yeah.
And they were all having a swim, and they reckon Graham was in there for an hour swimming.
Is that right?
Aye.
I wonder what the temperature's like down there.
It's beautiful.
Right, I'm not kidding you, because see when I go up the road up the west of Scotland.
Oh, no, it's Baltic.
Oh, it's
the Baltic Sea.
It's Baltic. They've got it easy down there. I mean, I could get in there for an hour with Graham, man. It's easy. Try going up the west of Scotland.
He swam the channel, by the way.
You're having a wee look downstairs and say, where's that going?
You couldn't swim to Rothsay, could you?
Oh, it's cold.
Or
it's
Millport. He just swam the channel, didn't he?
It's shrivel up material in the west of Scotland. Don't worry about that.
Anyway, on Cheltenham, limited tickets and hospitality are still available across all 4 days of the festival. Head to cheltenham.co.uk. Listen, if you've not been before, give it a go. It's fantastic. 3 minutes to 8.
2025 Cheltenham preview on talkSPORT. Don't miss out on the atmosphere, the passion, and what's on the line. Visit cheltenham.co.uk to find out more. Nothing feels like Cheltenham.
enough and probably overpaid. Nope, not the verdict on my annual review. That's how Sir Jim Ratcliffe described some of Man United's players. An explosive interview from him, but could the club actually have gone out of business by the end of the year?
They weren't going to go bust because they are owned by Jim Ratcliffe, Britain's richest man, and the Glazers. So they were never going under. But his point was that on paper, unless we actually did something, I'm quoting him, unless we'd made some pretty drastic decisions, we were actually going to run out of cash on paper.
And it looks like all that penny pinching might have miraculously freed up some money to go towards a brand new stadium. Old Trafford's days are numbered. We understand they'll unveil plans to build a new 100,000-seater stadium today. The Guardian's Jamie Jackson told us more.
We went to the SoFi Stadium I think it's in Inglewood in LA. And they were looking at that then amongst other stadiums around the world, United, to start, and that is a state-of-the-art stadium, and that's like basically a model.
The good news keeps coming for United. Their arch rivals Liverpool could fire themselves into the Champions League quarter-finals by the end of the night. Although Arne Slot's admitted PSG are the most complete team Liverpool have faced this season.
Because he lets the team play in a way that it's not easy to play against his team, and he brings the best out of every player, and he brings incredible work rate in the team.
Meanwhile, West Ham's two-game winning streak came to an abrupt end in the Premier League last night, although Graham Potter thought there was a foul in the build-up to Newcastle's winner.
Yeah, we're disappointed with that because I thought it was a tight game. I don't think we did enough to win it. But it was a tight game that ebbed and flowed. To concede the goal in that manner was disappointing from our perspective because we felt there was a clear push on Max.
As for Eddie Howe, he told talkSPORT it was the perfect preparation for the League Cup final.
I think it's what we needed before the Cup final. We needed a lift, especially with the recent news as we've already discussed. We needed confidence in the team. I think we've got that.
And is the Premier League a bit, well, second tier this season, Jason Cundy?
Who are the players in this Premier League that can go up and rub shoulders with the very best, the Tevez, the Ronaldos, the Hazards, the Lampards, the Gerrards, the Henrys?
We're building up to a huge first day at Cheltenham today, so stay tuned into talkSPORT on your smart TV.
Rupert can't take cold. He can't eat it to go. Okay, 4 minutes after 8 o'clock, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark's Rewards Week. Save up to £1,000 on selected cars this week. Alan Brazil, Ali McCoist, and Dino's with us. Dino, good morning.
Good morning, Dino.
Morning,
How are you, pal?
everyone. Morning.
Tell me your walkover. Just break it to us gently.
Well, it's one of the best walks in sport. Getting out the car, seeing that, the journey in with Ed, I thought I was playing against Mick Hartford. He elbowed me in the face 4 times on the way in.
Well, there's something wrong with Ed. I said to Ali today, I said, have a look. Every like 20 seconds, the shoulders go.
Yeah,
he's got a I don't know what you call it, a twitch.
I was in the car, John Fashion, who was elbowing me in the back of the head, and Mick Hartford was elbowing me in the face. Anyway, the walk from the car is one of the best walks in sport. Lovely. Before everybody's here, and then you get a glimpse of the track, and there's horses. Looking out there now,
stunning.
Look at all them horses in the middle of the track.
Stunning.
There must be 50 of them.
I wouldn't call it a track, that's American. We're not a Gulfstream. That's the course, not
the course.
Track.
Then, oh, fair enough.
I don't mind that.
But
right.
I'm just pleased to be here, Al, because when we get to the end of our days, we can look back on these days, can't we?
Do you know, it's day one of Cheltenham. You're talking about, honestly, you're talking about digging a hole and climbing in. Give us a break, will you?
Do you know what?
Do you know, that sounded very much like a prediction and a warning.
Ali, it's nice to see the same old faces, the production staff. You've got John Jensen.
Well, you ain't going to see them much longer the way you're going.
He's eating a bacon sandwich, Al. John Jensen. You've got Rosie and Jim Ollie with white socks on. Just got off his boat. Steve-O looks like some sort of Julian Clary character. The Hills of Eyes stood behind him. John Travolta.
Now that is a bit strong.
He's a film star.
That is a bit strong. Dear, oh dear.
You're going for John Jensen.
Anyway, what's happened to you, Ali? What's happened to you?
What's that mean?
I voted for you as the sexiest presenter. You look like Ricky Tomlinson this morning. Look at him, Al. I've made a mistake. I've backed the wrong horse already.
He's killed me.
Oh, dear, we better
Anyway, yeah.
On to this morning's big story. Some Man United players are not good enough and some are overpaid. According to the club co-owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he says in a wine-ranging interview, Sir Jim addressed his side's recent struggles in the pitch, 14th in the Premier League, and repeated a pledge to deliver silverware by 2028. This is some of the areas. Have a listen to this. This is incredible. Some of the areas he spoke about. No? Speechless? Oh, okay. Oh, well, make that clear to me, please. Thank you. How backing, then sacking ex-manager Ten Hag, and well, of course, we forget about that. He got a rise, didn't he? Yeah. He got an extension, and then it was see you later. Bye-bye. And hiring sporting director Dan Ashworth, who left after 5 months, were errors. What was the other one we had, Ali? The body, what was it? The body expert about your
body language.
Body language.
$75,000 a year.
It's good money, that for
I could have done that for nothing. Yeah. Just walk round Old Trafford. Everyone's fed up. Here we are. That's your body language.
Yeah, pick your chin up off the floor, Marcus. You got on $75,000.
I know that. You've got to say, I just think I find it absolutely unbelievable how they can be in that state. Listen, it happened. Don't get me wrong. It happened to my own club. But you think Manchester United, and you look at what's happening, and he's saying he's got to make these cuts. What was the quote? Or they'll be out of business. They could have been out of business at the turn of the year.
It's been coming, though, Ali. And you look back at when Fergie left, and they appointed some really good managers, paying the top wages, by the way, to every player, and not succeeding for this amount of time. Ten Hag spent $648 million.
Oh.
So Jim Ratcliffe apparently has put $3 million in. Or $300 million.
Did he spend it, or was it director of football?
Well, they were the Dutch players he brought in. He knew them. He must have okayed it. Yeah. You know, and they've played over the odds. I mean, Arsenal were getting ripped off in the transfer market, but Man United, unbelievable. You telling me, and I don't want to be hypercritical of him because I know how hard it is to play at that level, but Anthony.
Oh mate, I'm with you.
His transfer fee.
I know.
And you wonder why you're bankrupt.
No,
and you're 14th in the league. No Champions League money coming in.
That's unacceptable.
So what's he going to do then, guys? Is he going to walk away?
Well, do you know the first thing I would say about him? What he's doing here is he's letting everybody know why he's making these decisions, right? Because if he doesn't open his mouth, everybody just sits and going, oh, he's making cuts here, he's making cuts there. It's all Sir Jim Ratcliffe's fault, right? And he's a bad guy, he's a fall guy. But him coming out, he's at least tried to explain why he's doing it, why he has to do it, and it gives United fans a kind of insight to what's happening. I still can't believe, that those Glazers are still over in America collecting all the dough.
I know, it's frightening.
They must be thinking, we've had a right result here. Oh. Him in, he's taking all the flack. I seen Jim Ratcliffe thumbing a lift this morning to Cheltenham. Skinned. I mean, he's gone into Man United. He must have known, right, we're in a bit of trouble here. He's had a look at the books. And
well, that's what I don't understand. He must have known.
And he spent $648 million.
Okay, right. A big Man United fan, of course. talkSPORT's very own Alex Crook, chief football correspondent, joins us now to give us more. Alex, a very good morning.
Good morning.
Remarkable
morning, Alex.
interview, Alex.
Yeah, good morning. Never a dull moment at Manchester United, is it? And I echo a lot of what Dino was saying there. Clearly, that the recruitment for many years now has not been fit for purpose. There's been a lot of money invested in the squad, and clearly, as a football club, Manchester United are going backwards. But I've watched the whole interview now that Sir Jim did with Gary Neville, obviously a pal of his. Not once, really, does he talk about the elephant in the room. The reason that Manchester United are in this crippling financial situation is because of the Glazers and that billion quid's worth of interest that they've leveraged against the club with the loans they took to buy it in the first place. And I half understand it, because I think when he got that minority share, there was an agreement that neither party would criticise the other in public. But Manchester United fans are going to see through this. It doesn't matter how many tickets you sell for 66 quid. It doesn't matter how many body language experts you make redundant. All the time, the Glazers are still paying these huge interest rates, or using Manchester United to pay these huge interest rates. It's not going to get any better. And then you look at
Alex, two key points here from what is revealed. How are they going to build this new stadium, right? Where are they getting the funds from there? And what about the manager? I mean, if they back him, he's probably thinking, I'll get 3, I'll get them 4 in the close season. He's now thinking, I'm going to have no money.
Well, I would love to know what Ruben Amorim thought of the interview in general, to be fair, because he's got 5 players there, 5 of his players, that the owners effectively chucked under a bus. When you start saying there's people who are not good enough, people who are overpaid, and then you name Onana, the first-choice goalkeeper, you name Rasmus Højlund, who, despite the fact he's not scored for 20 games, is still United's first-choice forward. They're going to be walking into work this morning thinking, well, my boss clearly doesn't rate me. So how is Amorim going to motivate them? And I think you're right. When he came in, he would have been promised funds for a rebuild. It's going to be interesting to see how much money he does get to spend in this summer, which is a massive summer for United in terms of getting players off the books, but also getting players in to play this very rigid style that Amorim has. And we're expecting an announcement on a brand new stadium as early as this morning. And one of the big questions is, how are they going to fund it? When you're talking on one hand about the fact the club would have run out of money by the turn of the year had they not made these savage cuts, how are you then going to find £2 billion to build a brand new stadium?
Crookie, tell me, mate. See, I wasn't aware of that. You're telling me he's actually named names. Because I asked the question this morning, did he name names, and nobody could tell me. But he has actually named players.
He named Onana, he named Casemiro, he named Rasmus Højlund, he named Jadon Sancho. Sancho's less of an issue because we know that unless Chelsea finish lower than 14th, he's going to be a Chelsea player full-time at the end of the season. But as I say, those players who are still in the dressing room, Casemiro has got a couple of years left on his contract on very expensive money. How are they going to react to that? You boys have been players, you've been in dressing rooms. It's not going to go down well, is it?
Can I just say, Alex, you know, people don't realise that being backed by an owner of a club is not all about bringing players in. It's writing cheques to get rid of the disease in the dressing room. If you let that disease keep going, it gets bigger and bigger. So, for example, they've tried to sell Harry Maguire about 5 times, and obviously nobody can afford his wages. You've got to write a cheque to Harry Maguire and say, off you go. You're writing cheques to get rid of players' contracts. That, at least you've got a dressing room then that's all pulling in the same direction. So that's just as important as bringing players in.
Well, they've done the opposite with Harry Maguire. They've triggered an extra year on his contract. And listen, I think at times Harry Maguire maybe gets a bad press. I think he's certainly a very dedicated professional. But this is someone who's been at Manchester United at a time when season after season they're slowly getting worse. So in the end, I think you have to cut the cord, don't you, and realise maybe this guy's not good enough to get us back to where we belong.
Crookie, just a quick one then. We've mentioned, how does this get solved? Because I think from where I'm sitting right now and listening to you and looking at what's going on, surely you've got to attempt to get rid of the Glazers.
Well, Manchester United fans have been attempting to get rid of the Glazers almost from day one when they came in with this leveraged buyout. It's impossible, isn't it? I mean, there was alleged interest from Qatar, but I'm not sure how serious that was. The only way that Sir Jim Ratcliffe could get in was by becoming a minority owner in the end, with the aim of taking over the whole football club. But the Glazers, they must be laughing all the way to the bank, because as much as there were big protests against them at the weekend, all we're talking about on air and in the newspapers is Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And I feel a little bit of sympathy for him, because there's only so much that he can do, because he is only a minority owner. He's trying to sort out some of the mess that he's inherited. But he's basically a human shield, isn't he, for the Glazer family? And they're still going to, take out their dividends. They're still going to have these interest payments that are taken out of club funds. They'll still turn up whenever Manchester United are in a cup final, but you won't see them week in, week out at Old Trafford. So they're in a brilliant position.
Alex, nice one. Thank you.
Cheers,
Alex Cook
Crookie.
there.
Cheers, Alex.
Talk Sport. Fascinating. I don't know what's going on.
Absolute shambles, man.
Incredible. Okay, coming up just before travel, we have Dave Stevens from Coral and Joe Hart coming up on Talk Sport as well.
Can they prove that City's breaches caused that loss? How much did the Eric Ten Hag venture cost Manchester United? There's a proposal to ban state-controlled clubs from English football.
It isn't about Edu not believing in the Arsenal project, it's perhaps about Edu wanting more power.
It is 8:19 and it's a warm welcome to a sun-kissed Cheltenham.
No, isn't it? It's 8:20.
It was 8:19. I think you'll find it's 8:19. It is now time for this, guys.
It's time for the Al Forecast.
Well, down at Cheltenham, we're expecting it to be pouring pints and raining Guinness.
The time lock on the fridge, 8 o'clock it opens. This is Cheltenham.
Despite all that black and white rain, we should see some sunny spells too, and we're hoping it doesn't dry our luck out.
Morning all. Not been a great week on the tipping front, for which I apologise.
Foggy heads are expected, but don't worry, we won't let that cloud our judgment on the horses.
I've got a right few quid to get in there, hidden she don't know about. Come on!
This is the Owl forecast from Cheltenham.
Yellow.
Please tell us why.
Jeff Lynn. Absolutely fantastic. Now, this is Al's forecast, where across the Cheltenham week we'll be keeping track of Al's festival stats. From Guinness Sunk to how many kilometres he walked across he walked across the coming days. It is, of course, game day. It's day one of the festival. So, Al, it's time to get some of your predictions.
Can't wait.
For your Cheltenham antics ahead of the big week. When you start, your overall mood, Al. How are you feeling right now? On a scale of
brand new.
Well, no. On a scale of 1 to 5, you can't just give me. I'm giving you
1 to what?
Build up. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being your happiest. What are you at right now?
72, 3.5 to 1.
So effectively, if it was 1 to 10, you'd have went 7.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, probably.
How do you think you'll be feeling Friday morning?
2.
Good. I remember last.
Oh no! I might be 6 lying in bed listening to you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The Friday, take
the 64.
When we came to pick you up every morning last year. Ed and I got your place about 5:20.
No, you didn't.
We did.
You were late every day last year. Pick me up.
You were late this morning.
Can I just say, Al, I've never seen you look so good.
Thank you, Dino.
Yeah. Yes.
You were going to make it Friday. I can tell.
I wouldn't be diving in just yet, Dino. It's only day one.
Just to calm things down, Dino, last year on a Thursday, Ed and I rolled up outside the house anticipating what came out in the Thursday morning. He walked down the stairs. Ed and I promise you, Dino, looked at each other, shook our heads and went, he ain't making it tomorrow. And boy, were we right. And boy, were we right.
Get on with it.
Right, okay. Next question. How many winners will you have come Friday?
Winners, I reckon I'll have... I'm not going mad, so I reckon I'll have 3 or 4. I'd say 4. Okay. One a day will do me.
Here's an interesting one. How many Guinnesses are you expecting to sink?
36.
36.
You've obviously thought about that question.
9 a day.
9 a day.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 in the Guinness Village, 6 in the corporate hospitality.
And how many kilometres will you have walked by the end of the week at the course?
17.
Okay. How many minutes in total DJ Ed have to wait for you in the morning?
No, wait for you, and then I stand outside in the cold and the wet, and then eventually you turn up.
Ed. And then Ed's shaking his head there. And there's a bonus one we stuck in, which you don't have to predict.
By the way, Ed's going to get nicked. He might not make Friday. The way he's driving at the moment, he could get nicked.
What about the road closures? Seriously?
That's because of Ed.
Honestly, the road closures have been terrible.
I'll tell you now, you missed it. We went up to Jackdaws, right?
Uh-huh.
And where the gallops are, no entry signs. Whoosh, straight through them. By all accounts in Fenerbahce and over in Istanbul, it doesn't matter. You just ignore them. He nearly took 4 horses out, Dino.
He's not Turkish, Ed, are he?
Yeah.
Are you?
You don't know that?
Is.
Yeah.
Günaydın.
Have a look at his teeth.
Ed, Günaydın. Nasılsın? İyiyim.
Shut up.
Well, there you have it.
There's no way you're Turkish.
A lesson in Turkish. Those are Big Al's Cheltenham predictions and the Al forecast. Tune in at the same time tomorrow morning.
Easy peasy.
To see how Big Al got on. It's time now to get the latest odds with Steve-O and Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for Cheltenham 2025. It's too big to miss. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Day one, Steve-O, the sun is shining. You're looking $1 million.
Thank you, Al.
I have to say, and please don't take this the wrong way, Simon. Steve-O comes in like he just walked out of Savile Row. You look as if you just walked out of Rotten
Death Row.
Rotten Row.
Gentlemen, a very good morning. Ali, Dino, lovely to see you. Here we go again. Right, you've had the Brazil forecast. Very simple question. One word answer from both of you. 6-4. He's here all 5 days. Are you backing him, yes or no?
I want to let you know Thursday morning at the bottom of those steps. But right now, I'm taking 6-4. It's happening.
I'm going, yes.
There we go. But Al, your co-colleagues have faith in you. You are actually looking real. I've seen you on this day looking a little bit tired than this. You're
What,
fine.
on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
I'm all right on a Tuesday normally. It's Wednesday, Thursday.
I had a wee chat with him, Steve-O. Do you know what it is? It's sleep. He has to get a few hours.
No. He had a wee chat and he says, by the way, our contracts are up in June. Don't blow
This is good news for the hundreds of punters who are back in the 6-4. He's here all 5 days. Friday's going to be thrilling.
Do you know who was nearly crying last night? Ray said to me by the fire, by the leg, and he went, does Liam really hate me? This is Ray, just have another drink. Don't worry about it.
He's got a big influence on this bet.
He has.
Oh, yes.
Ray Parlour.
That's a great shout.
If Ray's got the 6-4, we're in good shape, I think. But talking of exciting finishes, I have to admit, we've got a really great offer here all week on every race this week. Pipped at the post. If your horse is beaten into second by a neck or less, we'll pay you as a winner. 18 plus, you pay. Not mine only.
Hold on.
I open an account.
Where's the nearest cash point?
Well done, boys.
Maximum stake of 10. T's and C's to apply.
Whoa, rewind. What do you mean? Whoa. Rewind maximum stake of 10. Now give us a break.
Please.
That's a tenner for a pint of Guinness.
Please do gamble responsibly.
Yes,
but what we want are lots of exciting finishes coming up this hill here for our offer.
But it sounds like things you don't, actually, to be quite frank with you.
I don't mind. It's good for me, isn't it? But talking, are we going to get these exciting finishes? And let's start with the opening race, the Supreme. The first of 4 hot favourites today, Dino. Kopek de Board, currently even money.
Tell me why is that short in the opening race? What has he done?
He's only run twice over hurdles. The first time, he made a real hash of it. He didn't jump well. He then came out at the Dublin Racing Festival, the big meeting in Leopardstown in February, and just looked on a different level. I mean, he just ran away. Honestly, Ali, you could have ridden him to win that day. Was that too good to be true? I'm in the camp where I want to see him do it again. Can he do it? Of course he can.
Well, Ali's trained by on old Romeo Coolio. Remember Coolio on the dance floor,
yes,
Manhattans?
Yep.
Manhattans. Yeah. Remember that?
Yep.
But it is a great race to have an each-way bet against the favourite, actually. The likes of Romeo Coolio, William Money is another one. There's plenty in there. Work Ahead is another one. He's the first favourite, even money. Majborough, owned by JP McManus, 1-2 for the Arkle. So Alex Ferguson's got loads of sud.
He's flying in. Dan Skelton. Go on, my son.
Rupert told us Willie Mullins has got 6 horses in the first race.
Yes. Yes.
That's incredible.
Listen, this is a man not just at the top of his game. He is so far clear at the top. You have to doff your cap to him. Champion trainer in Britain and Ireland.
Without doubt.
He trains Majborough. He trains the third short price favourite of the day, Lossiemouth, the mare, owned by Richie.
Wow. I'll repeat it again.
We're thinking about that.
I'll repeat it again. He came out of Dover Street Wine Bar just last week, and let's say he did a good afternoon, and he came out and he told what the doorman, who happens to be a pal of mine, he says, get all your tips on Lossie.
Yeah.
First day, she'll bolt up.
So she's 8-11. So that's 3 favourites. 10 years ago, we were in this position.
Well, we are.
The fourth one was Annie Power down at that last hurdle. The £50 million fall.
Do you remember that, Ali, when the champagne pops were flying over the balcony in the coral box as Annie Power hit the deck?
So leg 4 this year is Constitution Hill. I heard Dominic King talking earlier. If you're going to watch one race today or listen to one race, make it that one.
No, I'm Sedgefield.
Is it a 2-horse race? Is it a simple as?
It is a 2-horse race. I'll tell you who the 2 are. Constitution Hill and State Man. There's a statement for you.
I get shot down in flames for saying State Man about 15-20 minutes ago. I'm with you.
He's the reigning champion. He wasn't good enough to be Constitution Hill
you were
2
talking
years
about the first
ago.
race. He's not in the first race, you tube.
I think he can chase Constitution Hill home again. I really do. So the fourfold pays just over 7-1. It's going to be such a great day, honestly. If the first 3 come in,
imagine.
Not that we need any more hype on Constitution Hill. It's going to be brilliant. Al mentioned Sedgefield. He's absolutely right to, because 18 minutes after the champion hurdle, up at Sedgefield, Coral Racing Club 4:18. Cave article goes for our mate Christian Williams and the Coral Race.
One of your boys, Dino.
Yeah.
Lovely boy,
Great lads.
lovely boy.
There's a couple of Welsh jockeys as well doing well here this week.
Beautiful part of the world where Christian trains.
Go on, who? Who,
down
Dino?
on the beach.
Who?
Bowen.
And who else?
Yeah, Sean Bowen, champion jockey.
Davis.
Who?
Dwight Davis, your good young Welsh jockey.
Fred Davis, no, he's given up.
Bowen.
To be fair, you're all capable in jockeys down there. You're all about that size, aren't you? I mean, let's be honest about it.
And there's our revenge, Ali.
Oh, Harry, take that for Tomlinson.
You can't
Right.
say that.
How about,
No.
And Dino.
And it looks like all that penny pinching might have miraculously freed up some money to go towards a brand new stadium. Old Trafford's days are numbered. We understand they'll unveil plans to build a new 100,000-seater stadium today. The Guardian's Jamie Jackson told us more.
We went to the SoFi Stadium I think it's in Inglewood and LA, and they were looking at that then amongst other stadiums around the world, United to start, and that is a state-of-the-art stadium, and that's like basically a model.
The good news keeps coming for United. Their arch rivals Liverpool could fire themselves into the Champions League quarter-finals by the end of the night. Meanwhile, West Ham's two-game winning streak came to an abrupt end in the Premier League last night, although Graham Potter thought there was a foul in the build-up to Newcastle's winner.
Yeah, we're disappointed with that because I thought it was a tight game. To concede the goal in that manner was disappointing from our perspective because we felt there was a clear push.
We're building up to a huge first day at Cheltenham today, so stay tuned into talkSPORT on your smart TV.
24 minutes to 9 o'clock. Do you know what, Dino? We were having a real sensible, stats galore show till you turned up. It's turned into carnage.
Yeah.
You've upset all our guests.
At least you're laughing.
Well, we're certainly doing that. Certainly doing that, mate.
Hey, big game tonight, Al. Can't wait. Liverpool, PSG.
Let me get the opener out of the way and then we'll talk about that because we've got a revelation coming from Dino and I can't believe he's going to say it, but he will, and I'll give me a minute. talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark's Rewards Week. Choose from 3 rewards when you buy a car today and a lock for that fridge. There you go. Alan Brazil, Ali McCoist, Dean Saunders. Come on, Steve, we'll sort it out. We're here at Cheltenham in the Coral Box. Don't forget, we'll be joined here in the box this morning by AP McCoy live, and John O'Shea will be on as well. Now, Soccer Aid for UNICEF is back, and it raises so much money. talkSPORT's delighted to announce that we'll be broadcasting live coverage of the event again from Old Trafford on that beautiful day, 15th of June on the Sunday. Former heavyweight champion Tyson Fury will manage England alongside Wayne Rooney. With new faces this year, plenty. Joe Hart, who we're going to speak to, Steph Houghton, Tony Duggan, and Juve Italian legend Leonardo Bonucci, as well as returning stars Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, Jill Scott, and One Direction's Louis Tomlinson. For tickets to Soccer Aid 2025, go to socceraid.org.uk/tickets. The game takes place on Father's Day, 15th of June, Old Trafford. Adult tickets are still available from £20, juniors from 10. You got juniors in there, Dino, if you walk up. £10 tickets include access to a pre-game fan zone and players' arrival. And there's a play area as well, Dino. Let's build up to it with a man who will be in... Stop it. Who will be between the sticks for England. A very, very good morning to two-time Premier League winner Joe Hart. Joe, a very good morning.
Joe, good morning, mate.
Morning, Joe.
Morning, gents. You all right?
Oh, brilliant.
Top form,
Joe, we're going to get a massive crowd again at Old Trafford. And you know what? It's a great occasion, especially for the kids that go with their parents to watch it, and raising so much money as well.
Yeah, it's incredible what they're doing. You know, since I've got involved in it and I've seen the numbers and what they're doing and how it's growing year on year, obviously they're spreading a lot of joy, but they're doing some incredible work as well for UNICEF.
Yeah.
Joe's going to say to you, mate, how's that going? How are you going to handle that? 1 minute it's Aguero and David Silva, and then it's Lee Mack.
Do you know what? That's going to mess in my head. I've been so used to just being one-on-one with people that if they do score, it's not the end of the world, but I don't know how it plays out this.
Joe, 3 strikers sat here, Alan Brazil, Ali and myself. We watched Alisson last week, and I think he's the king of one-on-ones. From our point of view as strikers, I don't know what you think, Al, we used to wait for the keeper to make our minds up for us.
Well, drop a shoulder.
So is it the opposite for you? What's the secret to what he's doing, Alisson?
Do you know what he's doing? He's taking away any easy give, because he doesn't go down early, so he takes away the dink, but then he also stands up wide and strong, so you're thinking about going around him, but you know that he's agile. And then I know all 3 of you are thinking, well, I'll just go through his legs. He's quick, so he can smother and he can sit down. So he takes all the easy gives off the table one-on-one, which you want as a striker, right? And he makes you think and he makes you do something that's really uncomfortable. And that's the genius of him. And ultimately, when you can hold people up like he can, he's got Virgil van Dijk and Konate galloping back behind you, adding to the pressure. He just makes it so difficult.
Yeah. What about, do you know what, tonight's game, Dino, it's interesting. Because Liverpool, were Paris just so good, or did Liverpool just have an off night? I think it's a different game tonight at Anfield. I expect to see the real Liverpool. Do you fancy Liverpool to go through? Because Paris were very impressive, weren't they, in defeat?
Yeah, look, I was just thinking about it last night, and Paris will take so much confidence from the first leg. But Enrique's got a squad that's on the up, and they're really starting to play well, and they're probably feeling like they can do anything. But that's going to be a different emotion tonight. To prepare a team for how the atmosphere is going to be and the expectancy in that Liverpool air at the moment, it's going to be a real shock to their system, because they're probably just used to turning up and being better than people at the moment, and they were better than Liverpool, but that's just not going to be the case tonight.
Joe, tell me, I want to ask you about City, if I may. Clearly, not having a season everybody expected. I was there on Saturday at Forest, and the game probably went certainly the way, maybe not the result, but certainly the way everybody expected it to. City dominating possession. I mean, Forest, believe it or not, you probably do know, have got the lowest possession rate in the league, which is absolutely remarkable. But what I want to ask you about City, Joe, is I look at both those sides, and when City get up the pitch, they'll try and play through you. Whereas if Forest got up the pitch, they'll put a ball into the box, an early cross into the box. Now, if you've got Chris Wood or even Haaland, surely that's what you want. I look at City and they go up and they come back out, and it's as if they're trying to score the perfect goal, mate.
Yeah, but they just haven't got the luxury of taking people on the counter-attack. That's where Forest have been at their best and come away from it slightly recently. But they know that they've got that belief, and that kind of Milenkovic and Morello in the middle, and everyone building around themselves as well. They know they can sit in. They're quite comfortable at 30% possession, because they know Hudson-Odoi and Elanga, they're going to hit them on the break, and Chris Wood will take his chance. City, on the other hand, like you said, Ali, they're just recycling, and they're kind of banging their head against the wall, and they've kind of lost a little bit the belief in what they're doing. You need to believe that you've got possession for a reason, and eventually you're going to tire the opposition out, and then you're going to kill them. City haven't quite got that belief at the moment. It's a little bit hopeful, and it can tell against a well-organised team.
Well, Joe, listen, I've got to say, you look in remarkable shape. Those muscles around your shoulders, is that because of all the trophies and things you won up in Glasgow? I've got no sympathy for McCoist. How was your time up there? Did you love it?
Oh, I absolutely loved it, Alan. Honestly, it was, a career. I was lucky to have, not lucky, I earned a good career. And then towards the end, it started to peter out. And I thought, wow, maybe I just got to have my peak years, and then that's football. And then to have the opportunity to go out there and have 3 years of just demanding excellence, demanding results. I hear Casper talk about it now, and I can see why he's so in love with it, because, I felt exactly the same. It's a different feeling from winning to being expected to win, and then go on to the next game and win and win and win and win all those trophies. And kids were at a great age to enjoy it. It was a magical 3 years for me.
Joe, there's a couple of things I want to ask you, but the first race is at 1:20. But obviously, Thomas Tuchel is about to name his England squad, and I think we'll all agree on this. We've not discussed it. We all like Jack Grealish. You're on about keeping the ball, Man City keeping the ball. The manager's got an option of Doku, Jack Grealish, two different players. But what's happened to Jack? I mean, we all like him, and we all want him to do well. He seems like a great lad. He's just lost his way.
He's just not getting picked, is he? At a moment where a lot of questions are being asked of the manager, of the club, of all the most of the players are being put in a situation, especially over recent years, where they're not quite sure how to get out of this. And I think Pep's having the same sort of feelings. He's wondering whether he wants total possession. Does he need the Jeremy Doku to just kind of engineer him a goal out of nothing with pace and power? All a little bit lost at the moment, and Jack's just not fitting into what he wants.
I think we all agree with that.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see Jack playing. I really would.
We all would, wouldn't we?
Joe, listen, well done with soccer. Good luck. I hope you enjoy it. And what a great career. And thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you, mate.
Just finally, Joe, before you go, mate, if Lee Mack comes through one-on-one, make sure you stand up, right?
Stand up. Why, does he want the dink, yeah? He's not. No one's thinking.
He's a dinker all day, mate.
Dinking.
He's a dinker all day, Lee Mack.
They're getting the gladiator spear before they dink me. I'm not walking off that field with that.
Brilliant.
Well done, mate.
Thanks, Joe. Right,
Cheers, gents.
the final hour nearly with us here at Cheltenham, looking at a bit cloudy now, but by all accounts, we've just spoke to the clerk of the course, Dave Stevens, who says the going is perfect out there, so there's no excuses on day one of Cheltenham, 8:45.
Can they prove that City's breaches caused that loss? How much did the Erik ten Hag venture cost Manchester United? There's a proposal to ban state-controlled clubs from English football.
It isn't about Edu not believing in the Arsenal project, it's perhaps about Edu wanting more power.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
Okay, 8:49, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Alan, Ali and Dino with you this morning. Still to come on Breakfast this morning. We'll continue to react to that incredible Jim Ratcliffe interview. Should he be calling out individual players mid-season? Big question. How are the fans feeling about what he has just said? Get in touch, you know the drill, guys. 03717 22 3344 if you want to have your say. We'll also be joined by a man who knows a thing or two about how to ride a winner here at Cheltenham. The top man will be joining us. He won a total of 31 races at the festival and claimed victory in the Gold Cup twice. I remember it well on Mr Mulligan in 97 and then 16 years later on Synchronised. That is, of course, the great AP McCoy will be joining us. That was our preview with Benchmarks. Stay with us.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. All our Benchmarks kitchen doors come with a 5-year guarantee. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh dear. Right, here we go. I don't know where I'm going here. See, you've thrown me. Come on, Ollie, do your job.
I'll tell it now. I think I'm right in saying we're at this bit. Now, has this season's Premier League been a forgettable one? It's safe to say there's been a disagreement between us here on the Breakfast Show and those dopes on the numpty bar.
What the?
At the moment, the Premier League is not passing the sniff test for me. You know, my eyeballs don't lie to me.
For me, the quality is nowhere near what the Premier League used to be. Nowhere near.
Couple of clowns.
I don't know what we're going to do, Rose.
Just because the league's over, that's where they're coming from.
That's exactly it.
They're bored now, aren't they? They're bored.
Yeah, because the league's finished. That's all they're saying. You're right, Al.
What a joke, honestly.
I remember last season coming going, and text each other, go, big, what a game tonight. Big game. I can't wait for it. This season, I'm going,
the quality of the Premier League is nowhere near to what people sit there and think it is.
There's a lot of teams out there that just want this season over. I want to ask Premier League sides now, how happy with the Premier League are you? All of them.
Hello, let me scratch my head here. How well are the English clubs doing in Europe?
It's the best league.
So, shut up, honestly. Do your head in. What about that old Billericay Dicky there? What's he talking about? Look at Forest, look at Bournemouth, look at Brighton, how well they've played.
Well, I would say, though, that...
Oh, don't you dare, stay with them.
I think footballers, young footballers now are being coached into systems, passing through the line, going sideways with the ball, where, like Steven Gerrard, people like that, Roy Keane and Paul Ince could do everything. They could be defensive midfield players, they could tackle, they could score. I think they're getting coached into robots, the players. You name some players that you would pay to go and watch.
I know.
Well, Salah's been brilliant.
Salah, definitely. Yeah. Haaland, definitely.
Haaland, yeah.
Name England's second choice striker.
I know he's not in form.
Palmer's
Cole Palmer,
brilliant.
you definitely pay money to watch Cole Palmer.
Yeah, class.
I just think in wide areas, you know, it's been coached. There's no coaching players to get by people. You need to buy people.
The boy Brighton's all right.
Matoma.
Oh, yeah.
Minter on the other side.
I like him.
Yeah. There's one or two exceptions, of course there is. Absolutely. But wide players...
If you ask the fans, the majority of fans I speak to, they say they're fed up with the ball going wide, turning back, across the back, out the other side, back again.
That's my point.
And then the opposition sometimes sitting back, everyone behind the ball, in front of their own goal. And it gets a bit boring to watch sometimes.
But they used to say that about in snooker, right? Stephen Henry was boring, right? But he was just a class above. Liverpool have lost one game. You know, it's not everyone else's fault that Liverpool have been so dominant.
Liverpool have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Efficient. With Salah. Efficient with Salah in your team.
Yeah, but, I mean, the results have been nothing short of magnificent. I've got to say, I hear what you're saying. I mean, the two victories that we had recently against clubs that were going in the top four, I think they're both 2-0 victories against Man City and Newcastle. You're right, I wouldn't say they were brilliant, but they were very, very comfortable. Very comfortable. Looked as though they probably had another gear to step up if required.
Do you not think it's become more important how many passes you're getting in your own half than in the other half?
Well, Dino, that's what I was trying to say, Joe. Let's see the difference. See in wide areas, Forest, you know, I mean, Hudson-Odoi, Elanga, they put the ball into the box, mate. They get wide, they try and commit somebody, they just get a half yard, put it. See if you're centre forward. Would you rather be Haaland? Haaland must do more runs and not get the ball than any centre forward on the planet. At least if you know the ball's going wide and it's coming into the box, you can make a run. You know that.
Top of running. You looked out there, there's 3 security guards chasing some old git who's climbed over the fence. Who's that out there?
Rupert Bell. It's not, is it? It's not Rupert.
What, something? It looks like him.
Well,
Anyway,
I've just run
looks
the
like
whole
him.
circuit of Cheltenham
Oh,
to run off the red
around the
wine,
bend.
and I can tell you that the going is good to soft.
Anyway,
There's
we'll
been
come
a
back
bit of
to
rain
that.
overnight, but it's near perfect. A lovely covering of grass for day one of the Cheltenham Festival. Will Constitution Hill come first past the post later on this afternoon? One of 5 races live on talkSPORT this afternoon in H&J. I'm absolutely cream cracking after run, and so I need to go and have a lie down. Fantastic weather, but my goodness me, it's hard work running around Presbury Park.
Listen, breathing. Old Malbec Bell there. He's been at it again last night.
Apparently, he's been cheating at golf again.
Oh, no.
Apparently.
No.
He's played with Ollie. A quote from Ollie last night was, every time Rupert went in the bushes or the trees, he found his ball. Miraculously.
Yeah.
What's them old trousers?
Is that right, Ollie?
In them, isn't it?
Is that right? Yeah, he is. Look. Yeah, he's been cheating again.
But he's changed his tactics. He wedges off the tee and then uses a 3-wood. Ollie showed a picture yesterday. He was miles back off the tee. But then again,
I'm looking at him standing down there at that finishing line. It doesn't give me the impression of a man that's 300 yards off the tee.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
I think he's maybe 50, 80 yards off the tee. Steady Sam, up the middle.
He looks like Jim Ratcliffe's mood. You know what I mean? Disappointed already.
I know exactly what you mean.
But he's got his work cut out today because the first 5 live races today are live in Hawksby and Baker. Commentary from Rupert Bell and Lizzie Kelly. All 7 races are live on talkSPORT 2. Coming up to 3 minutes to 9.
good enough and probably overpaid. Nope, not the verdict on my annual review. That's how Sir Jim Ratcliffe described some of Man United's players. An explosive interview from him, but could the club actually have gone out of business by the end of the year?
They weren't going to go bust because they are owned by Jim Ratcliffe, Britain's richest man, and the Glazers. So they were never going under. But his point was that on paper, unless we actually did something, I'm quoting him, unless we'd made some pretty drastic decisions, we were actually going to run out of cash on paper.
And it looks like all that penny pinching might have miraculously freed up some money to go towards a brand new stadium. Old Trafford's days are numbered. We understand they'll unveil plans to build a new 100,000-seater stadium today. The Guardian's Jamie Jackson told us more.
We went to the SoFi Stadium I think it's in Inglewood in LA. And they were looking at that then, amongst other stadiums around the world, United to start, and that is a state-of-the-art stadium, and that's like basically a model.
The good news keeps coming for United. Their arch rivals Liverpool could fire themselves into the Champions League quarter-finals by the end of the night. Although Arne Slot's admitted PSG are the most complete team Liverpool have faced this season.
Because he lets the team play in a way that it's not easy to play against this team, and he brings the best out of every player, and he brings incredible work rate in the team.
Meanwhile, West Ham's two-game winning streak came to an abrupt end in the Premier League last night, although Graham Potter thought there was a foul in the build-up to Newcastle's winner.
Yeah, we're disappointed with that because I thought it was a tight game. I don't think we did enough to win it. But it was a tight game that ebbed and flowed. To concede the goal in that manner was disappointing from our perspective because we felt there was a clear push on Max.
As for Eddie Howe, he told talkSPORT it was the perfect preparation for the League Cup final.
I think it's what we needed before the cup final. We needed a lift, especially with the recent news as we've already discussed. We needed confidence in the team. I think we've got that.
And is the Premier League a bit, well, second tier this season, Jason Cundy?
Who are the players in this Premier League that can go up and rub shoulders with the very best? The Tevez, the Ronaldos, the Hazards, the Lampards, the Gerrards, the Henrys.
We're building up to a huge first day at Cheltenham today, so stay tuned into talkSPORT on your smart TV.
Good morning. He's still on his back down there, Rupert. Is he all right?
Is there any mileage in backing every one of his tips this week?
No.
And he comes good. Rupert.
No.
I'm thinking he's got to come good somewhere.
No, I can guarantee it will not be at this meeting.
What, do you know you think they're giving the bookies all your money rather than your ex-wife?
Well, you're on about Rupert. He's not been divorced, is he?
No, I'm talking about you.
No, I'm not.
He wants to buy my motorhome off me. That's how bad it's getting.
Don't worry about that. I'll bid for it myself.
I don't know what I'm laughing at. talkSPORT breakfast. Oh dear. With Arnold Clark Rewards Week, save up to £1,000 on selected cars this week. Ali's Women, a man who scored goals all over Europe, Dino Saunders. Now, still to come before 10 a.m, we'll build up to the greatest show on turf, 2025 Cheltenham Festival. Here we are live in the Coral Box. It's getting underway in just over 4 hours' time, and we'll have none other than the top man, the champ himself, Sir A.P. McCoy, to build up with us and hopefully give us one or two winners. We'll continue to break down that Jim Ratcliffe interview, incredible, with none other than a man who made over 250 appearances for the club. John O'Shea's going to join us. And will it be a bad day for the bookies? We hope so. With lots of people lumping on the hot favourites. Let's not forget, 2015.
But Annie Power was swept into the lead, and Glenn's Melody. The rest are all rowing in behind, trying to pick up his new knee. But it's Annie Power. He's not moved at all. He hasn't broken sweat all day, Ruby Walsh, and he looks like he's going to make it 4 out of 4 for Willie. She's coming to the last, and she's down! Oh no, she's down! She has fallen! Unbelievable!
Rupert tipped that as well. Unbelievable. But first, before we get stuck into racing, it's a big one. What a game this is tonight in Europe.
In all the years I've watched football, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that.
As Michael Jordan said once, the harder you work, the more luck you have.
It's Darwin Núñez running in Harvey Elliott. Oh! Liverpool have scored so much against a run of play. You cannot begin to describe it. Floodlight robbery in the Parking Prance.
I think when we would have had a draw over here, we would have been already the lucky one. We're definitely going to need our fans.
Here comes Barcola across the face to goal. Dembele turns it in.
All it takes is a bad half for about 45 minutes and your Champions League can be over.
The firepower they have, Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, Ousmane Dembele.
Magical and mythical the nights are, the European nights at Anfield.
They're in the box seat for a place in the quarter-final.
Liverpool, I think that certainly there's a double on there and perhaps a treble. I certainly think they can win the Champions League. I don't see any reason why not.
What has happened to Liverpool this year has been exceptional.
By far and away, the best team in Europe is Liverpool.
The drama, the tension, you can feel it oozing through every pore.
Yes. But listen, we're in danger of talking up PSG too much here. Dino, you can see a shock happening. I can't.
Well,
tell the truth.
You bring me on the show, I've got to tell the truth. As much as I don't like saying it, I think PSG are just an unbelievable team. I mean, I've never seen anybody do that to Liverpool like this. Nobody gives the ball away on purpose. You know, managers shout from the side, stop giving the ball away. We're not doing it on purpose. There's only 3 reasons you give the ball away. 1, you're passing and control and your basic skills are out on the day. Number 2, there's no movement, so you end up giving it away. And 3, the opposition force you into giving the ball away. That is exactly what PSG done to Liverpool. McAllister, who never gives the ball away, couldn't keep the ball. And Liverpool, the only chance Liverpool have got tonight, I think, is if they do the same to PSG as PSG done to them. Full press.
You know, you're forgetting one thing.
I know Anfield.
When you played at Anfield, unfortunately, you had to have a help up to it, but there's a sign there up high in the tunnel. This is Anfield.
See,
Did you ever? No, you didn't touch it. No,
it's
you didn't.
dwarfism again. You can't call them midgets, Al. Anyway, my point was saying they've got their wide players are that good, PSG's, that they remind me of the strength of Salah, skillful. Obviously, you've got to stop them coming inside and shooting. They had 20 shots on target. Alisson kept Liverpool in the game, and I've never seen any team do that to Liverpool, what they've done.
Do you know who was brilliant? Kvaratskhelia.
I was letting you say his name.
The Georgian lad. Goal disallowed. It was actually a travesty disallowing the goal. It was genius, fantastic goal. Dembele, Barcola across the front, tremendous. But I thought, mentioned earlier, I thought their midfield was absolutely superb. Against the midfield of Liverpool, it would have been great. Sobers, like Gravenberch, McAllister, as you say. But the 3 of them, Neves, Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz, were a different level. And by the way, in the right back position, they've got the boy Hakimi, who is one of the most underrated players in Europe.
But how many times in the past have we talked up this is PSG's year? How many times?
But they're different this year. So I don't care what MD says. I expect Liverpool to go through, right? But it doesn't take away from the fact I think PSG are a different animal this year than they've been. And that's with all the superstars. We've seen them, Mbappe, Messi, Neymar. They are, for the first time, I think, a proper team.
Yeah, well, you line up for games like that in Europe, and both teams have got world-class players. You don't think Salah and Diaz say we'll have to concede possession against these? It was forced. They couldn't do anything about it, and that never happens to Liverpool.
Yeah, but they maybe had an off night, do you know? They're entitled to having lost just one game.
Salah did. Salah did have an off night.
Yeah.
Nuno Mendes played him exceptionally well. But you're right, if we could got MD a bit of slack this year, it's got to be Salah.
One thing, a bit controversial, what I would say is, Jota has not got the legs to press like Nunez has.
Correct.
So I'd play Nunez tonight because they're going to have I think PSG will have the lion's share of possession again.
Do you? At Anfield?
At Anfield.
Oh,
and Nunez
dear.
is better at
gets you up
closing
the pitch.
down. And
Hold on, have they revoked your season ticket?
No,
Listen,
I hope I'm
here.
wrong, Al. I really do, because I've played in these games at Anfield and you feel like you can beat anyone, and I hope that's the occasion tonight. But I think this team, they won 4-1 again at the weekend. Dembele scored 2. They haven't lost for ages.
Yeah, against who? Cali?
I know, but they're a young group of players.
Man City
and
comfortable as well.
I'm thinking about the way they hunted Liverpool down.
Mm-hmm.
Dembele could be brilliant or he could be anonymous tonight. He's that type of player for me.
Well, Liverpool can do that to you as well. They can make you look average. But if I was going to have a bet tonight, I would be reluctant to put £1 on.
Simon Clare, can you just give us a shout? What price? How do we bet tonight's game? Steve-O? 5-4 Liverpool. And Dino's best side in Europe, what price? Just a shade under 3-1. 3, just under 11-4, Dino.
Well,
you can have 3-1 with me. There you go.
I'm not sure, but I last looked, it was 16-1 PSG to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
So the Villa will run into them if they beat Bruges, which I think they will. So Villa, I think, will probably draw Liverpool or PSG. But PSG is 16-1 to win the Champions League, I think. Steve-O, can you confirm that? Or have you shortened them up already? 14-1. There you go. Nicked a couple of points for you again.
Well, it's interesting, Dino, and you're very bold when an ex-Liverpool player to come out and say that.
Well, they were brilliant.
I
I think Dino's only saying what everybody saw in Paris.
Yeah, that's half-time.
Exactly.
But to have 20 shots on goal, Al, at Liverpool's
28.
goal, it's never happened. 28, was it?
28
It's
shots.
never happened. You've got to be a good team to do that.
Well, we'll see tonight then, won't we? Mind you, it's too late for me. 8 o'clock kick-off, isn't it? I'm beddy buys by then. But you two are not on them, or are you? See, people forget that. You can talk about me on Friday.
All right.
I'm on in the morning at 6 o'clock.
You want me to sack again, or what? I mean...
No, you know what I mean? Well, you're up in Stockley Park, earning another 10 grand. I'm Muggins here's got to go
Coming
to bed.
for the man that's in the tent all day of the day, by the way.
All I'm doing tonight is jogging round the course.
No, you're not. You're going to
getting
play.
warmed up in case you don't turn up tomorrow.
Oh, no, you're third choice. No, but we've already sorted it, yeah. Yeah.
I'm playing golf then.
The Chunk's in, he's in, then Rupert's in, then is you.
You're killing me today.
And wee Stewie might be in as well, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said their players were not good enough and some are overpaid. I suppose that is bold to come out and say that. For more on this, let's hear from talkSPORT's chief football correspondent Alex Crook. Crookie.
In a bombshell round of interviews with United legend Gary Neville, among others, Sir Jim Ratcliffe laid bare just how serious their current financial plight is when he claimed the club were on course to run out of money by the end of 2025 had they not made a raft of redundancies and hiked up ticket prices to £66 a game, even for junior members. He did give his backing to manager Ruben Amorim, but wasn't so complimentary about many of his players. Sir Jim Ratcliffe said some of the United players were, quote, overpaid or not good enough. He then went on to name-check goalkeeper Andre Onana, misfiring striker Rasmus Højlund, the highly paid Casemiro, as well as Jadon Sancho and Antony, both of whom are out on loan. Maybe most tellingly of all, Ratcliffe admitted he made a mistake by extending former boss Erik ten Hag's contract last summer and hiring Dan Ashworth as sporting director, only to fire him 159 days later. He did give an update on a new stadium with a plan to knock down and rebuild Old Trafford. But the one area that he conveniently missed out from these round of chats was the Glazer family and the £1 billion in interest that United have had to pay since they've bought the club.
Well, there you go, Alex Crook there, 14 after 9. Can I take one quick caller? A Man United fan. Are you astounded by what Sir Jim's come out? Let's say a good morning and welcome to talkSPORT. Gary, hi Gary.
Good morning, Gary.
Morning, Gary.
Hi, gentlemen. How are you?
We're
very well.
Thank you, Gary. What are you thinking, mate? I wouldn't say it's bizarre, but it must have been a shock to everybody, Sir Jim's comments yesterday.
I actually posted it to a lot of my friends. If I'm honest with you, I thought it was quite an honest business conversation. I think it put the reality. We all know Man United's in a bad position. We are in a catastrophic position for a club of our size. And he's come in like the debt management. He's not the reason we're in debt. but he's trying to fix it. And there is a long-term vision of any business to repair, and we have to go through the repair. And I thought it was quite an honest, really assessment from him. He's admitted his mistakes. He has a vision to make us the most profitable club in the world. That's his vision, and he believes he will do that. And I actually believe he will. I think we have to go through the pain.
I get it totally. And I think he's well within his rights to come out and make these comments, because I think the United fans, a lot of them, were sitting back and thinking, they're looking at the whole situation and just seeing Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming in, cost cutting here, people with redundancies here, there and everywhere. But he's now given the United fans the reasons behind these decisions, and I think that's very fair.
I think so, and it's normal business. If it's not a football club, if it's a company, somebody goes in and does the debt management and repairs the company. He's doing that for Man United on a massive scale. You know, and his plan is to turn us into the most profitable club in the world, and as good as the current Liverpool squad, as good as the current Real Madrid side. But it takes time, Ali. You know that. It's a massive.
That's a big question, Gary. How long is it going to take, to be honest, mate? But at least he's been honest. He's come out and said it now. It'll be interesting to see the reaction next home game. Gary, thank you for your call.
Thanks, Gary.
Okay, coming up next. Do you know who called me yesterday? John Hill from Coral called me yesterday.
Ah, John.
Yeah, I've not spoken to him for a while. And he says, stop having a go at Simon. You know, pasty-face Simon. He says, Steve will use max fat to that. You know, that bronzing.
Simon.
That bronzing thing. Because he always looks brown, doesn't he?
Pasty-face Simon.
I don't know what that is. Is that, what is it, uglyatism?
It looks as if you've just been dug up. 9:15.
not just her, but the whole squad are underperforming.
I've been there, I've been that statistic. I think it's something like 1 million girls in the UK drop out of sport every year.
Hello and welcome back to the Kickback.
You're looking a bit heavy, Callum.
Wait, that?
Oh, you've come in to start our hair.
Bosses beware, Gen Z are task masking. They're going the extra mile to look like they're working hard while actually hardly working at all. One example of task masking, I've never heard of that before, moving quickly through the office while carrying a laptop or a clipboard. Another example, typing loudly like a DMV. What's a DMV? What is that?
A DMV employee.
Yeah, what's that?
DMV.
You're asking the wrong people.
Ed, where's Ed? Ed would know that.
Oh, Ed
He's
doesn't
out of the
know.
room.
Ed's got DMV the way he's driving. Having a bad day, even when you're typing, has no relevance to your job. What you're doing, you're kidding people on. Shocking, isn't it?
It's not a new thing, Al.
We need to mention the elephant in the room. That music has just come on, right? Do you know what it reminded me? I swear to God, do you know what it reminded me?
Shawshank Redemption?
Yes!
Was it?
It reminded me of Shawshank Redemption. Remember he locks himself in?
Catherine Jenkins.
The Governors. He locks himself in the Governors and he just starts playing the music and it goes out into the... How did you get that?
Because I'm clever.
Oh, it worries me that we're on the same wavelength.
Do you know what, Al? You know what you're saying there? It's not a new thing. My uncle used to work for Addis. You know the bins?
Oh, no,
Addis
here we
bins.
go. Here we go.
Honestly, it's not a joke. So his job was to put the dye in the plastic every morning. So all he had to do was tip in the red, the blue and the yellow. And he said to me, what I do, I tip it in, I finish by 9:05, and then you get a piece of A4 paper, roll it up and walk fast everywhere you go. And nobody stops you. Not once, he said, 20 years has everybody said, what are you up to now? Not once. He said, just got to keep walking fast.
What was the company?
Addis, the bins.
Oh, and what was his favourite prop group? ABBA?
He's dead now. Fell in the ink.
Okay, 9:22. No, you mean he died?
Oh no!
This
Here
is the
comes
sharpest
Steve-O.
I've ever seen.
Here comes Steve-O with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for Cheltenham 2025. It's too big to miss. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Right, let's find out if the bookies will take a bashing today, as it's time now to get the latest odds with Dave Stevens. Steve-O, let's start with the football, can we, tonight?
Can we get Dino a cushion now so he can see out the window? First of all? We're all talking about the
I'm
lovely
going to
view.
HR. Is HR in, Ollie? I'm going to have to go to HR. It's just bullying.
No, seriously, Dino, could you touch that sign, this is Anfield?
Yeah, I'm 5'9", Al. I'm 5'9". I'm not Sam Matterface.
Talking of Anfield, it is going to be, well, could be one of the great European nights under the lights at Anfield. For me, this match odds first of all, but this really is all about qualification. Liverpool are odds against 5-4 to win a game at home. I'm saying that's the first time this season they've been odds against. Normally they'd be odds on for any home game. So that's how much we're respecting PSG.
So what are you saying, filler boots?
PSG are 15-8. This is to win in 90 minutes. The draw 14-5. What matters though is who's going through. 2-9 Liverpool. And just shade under 3-1 PSG to qualify. Dino, who qualifies tonight?
Gamblers go for value, don't they? Out-and-out gamblers. If you let your heart rule your head.
Don't start sneaking
I want
out
Liverpool
of
to
it.
get through, but I can't. I've said it already. I can't see him stopping PSG tonight. I think they're that good.
Okay, Ali, who goes through?
I've got to go for Liverpool.
Dino, you've got the right game, and you're not thinking of PSV, are you?
Steve-O, and I was there, and they get... Listen, they
all saw it.
They get battered.
Yeah.
And 1-1-0.
Yeah.
So you can argue the other way and say that's PSG's best effort.
Yeah.
Liverpool can play miles better.
PSG raise their game again to do that?
What a game, though.
Yeah.
KGFA, I'm back in the draw.
The draw in 90 minutes, 14-5, that. So, Shader, what's brilliant about this week, obviously we're here, but there's always Champions League matches this week. There's 3 others tonight, Barcelona, Benfica, Leverkusen, Munich, Milan, Feyenoord. They all look fairly sort of done and dusted off the first leg, don't they?
Yeah.
But just in terms of that outright betting, and we spoke last week, Ali, and we said, why aren't Barcelona favourites for the Champions League? They now are.
Well, do you know something? Down to 10 men last week and 1-1-0.
Yeah. That's 7-2. Liverpool 4-1. And PSG at 14-1, Dino. Now, clearly, the Liverpool and PSG odds will...
Hold on, what about Real Madrid?
Real Madrid are 9-2, Al. Bayern 11-2. Arsenal 6-1.
Some great... I mean,
yeah.
Barcelona
Isn't it
clearly... It's amazing.
Yeah.
Ali, do you think Arsenal can win the Champions League?
Yes.
I do as well.
But I think Aston Villa can win the Champions League. I don't think they will, right? But they can.
Well,
of course they can.
I
mean, we're talking about Liverpool. Liverpool went out in this world...
I think Aston Villa can win the league, but I don't think they will.
No.
Make your mind up.
The question was put to me, can they win it? Yes.
No, they don't get past
Will
Liverpool
they win
or
it?
PSG.
No, but they can win it.
And Arsenal come up against one of the Madrid sides, don't they?
Yeah, but they're good enough.
Arsenal have only let 24 goals in all season. Obviously, they're missing the centre forward, but they managed to score 7 or 8 the other day.
But that was a freak result, Dino, wasn't it? Their Premier League form, they haven't won in 3. That's a more reflective of
By the time the final comes round, all the players will be fit.
In a one-off game, those guys at the top level end can happen.
The champs just walked in, so let's talk about racing.
Well, all we need, obviously, is which of the JP McManus runners should we be backing today? So I'll leave you to grill AP for that. But, of course, we're not long now. First race, the Raw, for the... we should just mention, very sad that the first race is named after Michael O'Sullivan.
No,
Of course,
no.
such tragic news.
I spoke to John Jorginho yesterday. He was almost in tears talking about him.
He was his friend, wasn't he?
Horrible.
It's going to be even more special, that first Raw, as everyone remembers Michael O'Sullivan. Kopek aboard for Willie Mullins is going to be the first hot favourite of the day. And again, I'm coming around to the way of thinking, do they all just win today? Do punters 10 years after Annie Power, where bookies avoided the £50 million hammering 10 years on?
Why don't we do the 4 good things and do the 4 good things tonight in the Champions League?
Oh, there we are. See, this is why this is such a great week, Dino.
What are the 4 good things in the Champions League? You've just told you went a draw, so how can that? Is that a good thing?
Barcelona, Bayern Munich,
Liverpool,
Inter Milan and Liverpool.
Bob's your uncle.
The fourfold.
You just predicted a draw.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the fence.
The fourfold.
If I'm going to have a bet, I'll back Liverpool.
That's a huge fourfold, blimey.
Come on, Steve-O, work it out.
About 70-1.
No way. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm having a bit of that.
Chuck it
Don't fall for it. I'll look at Steve-O's outfit and look at yours. That's why he's rich.
You know,
he's a bookmaker.
There's nothing wrong with the shirt, although people keep sitting on me. And 9:28, Tony McCoy coming next.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for Cheltenham 2025. It's too big to miss. 18+ gambleaware.org.
enough and probably overpaid. Nope, not the verdict on my annual review. That's how Sir Jim Ratcliffe described some of Man United's players. An explosive interview from him, but could the club actually have gone out of business by the end of the year?
They weren't going to go bust because they are owned by Jim Ratcliffe, Britain's richest man, and the Glazers. So they were never going under. But his point was that on paper, I'm quoting him, unless we'd made some pretty drastic decisions, we were going to, we were actually going to run out of cash on paper.
And it looks like all that penny pinching might have miraculously freed up some money to go towards a brand new stadium. Old Trafford's days are numbered. We understand they'll unveil plans to build a new 100,000-seater stadium today. The Guardian's Jamie Jackson told us more.
We went to the SoFi Stadium I think it's in Inglewood in LA, and they were looking at that then amongst other stadiums around the world, United to start, and that is a state-of-the-art stadium, and that's like basically a model.
The good news keeps coming for United. Their arch rivals Liverpool could fire themselves into the Champions League quarter-finals by the end of the night. Meanwhile, West Ham's 2-game winning streak came to an abrupt end in the Premier League last night, although Graham Potter thought there was a foul in the build-up to Newcastle's winner.
Yeah, we're disappointed with that because I thought it was a tight game. To concede the goal in that manner was disappointing from our perspective because we felt there was a clear push.
We're building up to a huge first day at Cheltenham today, so stay tuned into talkSPORT on your smart TV.
Dino, put the tape roller away. Forget it now. It's gone. It's getting to you. talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Rewards week. Choose from 3 rewards when you buy a car today. Dino, Ali with me, and we've got 2 great guests as well. We're live from the racecourse for the rest of the week here in the Coral Box. And Ali and I will be joined by Gabby, Ray Parler, and Harry Redknapp as our co-hosts. And we've got some huge guests coming your way, including Mark Lawrenson, Jens Lehmann, Stephen Graham, top actor, and many, many more. That's 6 till 10 every day this week for the Cheltenham Festival. See you. No, it's not see you tomorrow. I've got the thing. We'll move on, shall we? Right. Let's have a very good morning to ITV's Ed Chamberlain and the champ, Tony McCoy. Tony.
Swiftly, I suggest.
That's how to present, Charlie. That's how to do it.
Honestly. God. Guys, how are we?
Great form, thanks, Alan.
The sun was out early. It was beautiful this morning. Whoa, beautiful.
Is this your favourite sporting playground, this?
Yes, got to be.
Well, we just discussed that, Ed. That's a great question to kick proceedings off with. Obviously, football, men.
You've been to them all, I presume, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're also talking Ryder Cup. We're talking British Open, Wimbledon, the Ashes.
They're all good.
They're all good.
No, you've not done the Ashes.
You're right, I haven't.
Stop lying then.
But I've watched it.
You must have commentated on a cricket match.
I played a wee bit of cricket, by the way. Back
where you go.
Oh, a medium pace. Very medium. Boys, what about it? We're nearly there. It's magic, isn't it?
It's brilliant. We look out, see the horses walking around the middle there. It's just the most beautiful place. There's no race course like it. Never mind. There's not many sporting events like it, but there's no race course like it.
Do you feel like riding when you get here?
Yeah.
He still thinks he'll be champion jockey. Did you read the other day?
What's the odds? Steve-O? AP McCoy to finish champion jockey before he passes away.
Yeah.
There won't be too many backing against him, I know that.
I'm a little bit like the rest of us on this panel.
But is this... Well, there's a question, AP. Is this one of the occasions where you go like that, where you miss it? Like, we'll watch the games on the telly.
Ali, you're opening a can of worms here.
Do you know what? I mean, standing beside Ed Chamberlain or riding winning
Yeah,
Cheltenham.
good
I mean,
point.
seriously?
Yeah.
Not much. Not much.
Well, think about me as well. I used to get to sit next to Gary Neville and Graham Souness. Look what I've got now.
Yeah, look.
Ed, this is 10 years to the day.
If you're lucky, you get a job in talkSPORT in 10 years.
Simon Clare rode in the charity race and was talking to his horse about the beautiful sun coming over Cleve Hill, and all of a sudden they're off, and he was facing the wrong way. And then Rupert Bell, and he's had a nightmare lately. Even 10 years ago, he said, and the winner, Simon Clare, he was last. he got the colours all wrong, Rupert. That was 10 years ago.
To think we remember that day for Annie Power and Ruby Walsh. It was actually
we played that earlier.
Played it earlier. 10 years ago, 2015.
Could happen again today, with those shorties.
We've just been discussing that. Let's start off with the first. What are you thinking about the first?
Kopech de Board, AP. I'm a bit worried he might be like Dino. Dino's got a bit warm.
He's quite a big, fine, good-looking horse. He's not the equine equivalent of Dino.
I am sweating up in the paddock.
What are you saying? His price is a bit short?
He just asked.
It's not right.
He just asked me what height it was, and I didn't know if I was to say 5'9.5" was the right thing.
Taller than you,
but I'm taller than him.
Al, actually, I'm not proud of this. I was playing for Forest pre-season against a 4th division team in Finland, and the young centre half shouted to me, "Go home." I had to kill him.
He didn't.
He did. Go home, you dwarf.
But Kopech de Board
I think he'll win, winning.
Kopech de Board was unbelievably impressive last time, and you think the array of talent that Willie Mullins has. You say he's got 6 in the first, and there's never any question mark at any stage that Paul Townend was thinking, is it not Kopech de Board? So
that's the first one.
But some of Willie Mullins' always take a giant leap forward from nowhere, and the JP horse in the race could be interesting.
Yeah, Aranci ran last year behind Ballyburn and Firefox, and then he hadn't been seen since. He was really impressive in his last start. You're right, Ed, when they come here, things do change for a lot of horses, but if you're looking at them at the moment, there's Kopech de Boer is he looks fairly, he looks like the one anyway for now.
Yeah.
And the same with Marsborough in the.
Yeah, you like this favourite.
He was a very impressive winner of a Triumph Hurdle. And he's been very good in his 2 starts. He made a few little niggly mistakes at Leopardstown last time, but looked like there were mistakes he'd learned from. If you look at the opposition, Lou de Sud is obviously a very good horse, but he was second in a county hurdle here last year. He was second in a handicap hurdle at Newbury. Marsborough's form, over hurdles is definitely a different level. He is only 5, and people say that 5-year-olds, since they don't get an allowance anymore, find it a little bit more difficult. But if you watch Marsborough going round, he is.
He's a beautiful horse.
He's an absolute model.
And so we'll go on to Constitution Hill. Everyone wants to see him come up the hill, going clear. Is that bound to happen?
It's not bound to happen, but I think it will happen. I saw him the other day. When we saw him before Christmas, Al, he was a bit like you and I. He was on the tubby side, shall we say, and seeing him at Kempton the other day, he was back to being a lean racing machine again. I think he could do something, hopefully, spectacular. And on trials day here, there were 19,000 people. This place went mad.
Incredible, yeah.
Honestly, if he wins today, this place will erupt. And it's going to be an I was there moment. And even Sir Anthony McCoy might smile, I think.
Well, if he doesn't win, champ, who beats him?
I do think... I know Willie's very bullish about Stateman, who won last year's champion hurdle. On his current form this year, you think you couldn't fancy him. But Willie Mullins does train him. And if you look at what we've seen so far this year, like his performances at Kempton, a lot of people would say that Burdett Road was too close to him, and even Lossiemouth. And then here, he couldn't but win when he won here, but it wasn't a wow moment. Brighter Days Ahead, I think, on what we've seen this year, has definitely put up the best performance when she won at Leopardstown. Visually, the time, everything about it was unbelievable. And I actually genuinely think she's the best horse that he's ran against. So
why did she get beat here last year then? You always tell me great horses find a way to win.
She was keen, but great horses have got beat, and she is entitled to it. She could improve. Gordon Elliott doesn't talk too many horses up. The couple that I've only ever heard him talking about was Don Cossack, who ended up winning the Gold Cup, and Sam Crow, who won a couple of Cheltenham festivals. He's not one to blow his trumpet about his horses, and he's very, very happy that he's taken on, and fair play to him. And I don't blame Rich for not running Lossiemouth, because she was never, she was always in the merit hurdles. He was always entitled to go there, and that's his prerogative when he wants. But I like the fact that Brighter Days Ahead is going to take him on, and
interesting.
He'll know.
And will Lossiemouth win?
She had a really heavy fall. Really heavy fall. By far the best mare in the race. There's a couple, Joyush, July Flower. There's a couple of them that are improving. She had a really, really heavy fall. there's that little element of doubt now because of it.
So tell me, boys, the coverage, I need to tell you, your coverage on ITV is sensational. That is absolutely fantastic.
You're not getting another job.
Taking it to another level.
You're not getting another job.
You're taking it to another level. How's that? Have I sold myself enough? In all seriousness, tell me about the approach.
Are you thinking about doing racing?
The work. Tell me about
what
the
you're
work
getting at?
goes in prior to it, because it all kicks off clearly today.
Yes.
But there's a lot of work goes on.
So the challenge, Ali, as always, is to make racing relatable and relevant to a big audience. We get a huge audience watching Cheltenham, and this place does it so easily. I mean, Constitution Hill is a horse that resonates far beyond racing. So we hopefully will have a big audience this afternoon. We've got Bruff Scott looking back on Annie Power 10 years ago. I'm a bit scared to ask Ruby a question off the back of that.
Oh, yeah.
He might...
very good footage.
A little birdie tells me Matt Chapman might miss a day this week. Would that be correct?
I hope so. No, I mean, that would be terrible news.
That's what I've heard, yes. Anyway, I won't go into it, but someone told me yesterday he misses a day this week. He's heading off to a sunny climate.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He looks like he's been in a sunny climate, but I think that
there is a great clip on TV today of... It's not a great clip for Ruby or for Annie Power, but when she falls and you can see Ruby standing, facing down the track and all the horses coming towards him. And I'd imagine at that time he was thinking, I'd actually be happy if one just hit me. You know what I mean? And so would everyone else that was in Cheltenham.
The only door came from the coral box. Get in there!
Yeah.
Oh, it was shocking.
It's going to be a brave move. At 2:30, I've got to ask him about it, if it still haunts him. I'm shaking now thinking about it because he's terrifying.
Will he talk about it or not?
He's going to have to, Alan.
So
he loves it.
Oh, I know.
Look, Ruby's one of them lads. He's just brilliant at everything. He's brilliant on the TV. He's brilliant. He's obviously a brilliant rider. So he deserves it.
Just talking earlier.
Deserves a little bit of stick.
I'm looking forward. I can see the Grim Reaper's face already. You know what I mean?
One thing they can't do. We go to you must join us, the Guinness Village on Thursday. We join the Irish and sing on the stage. And Ruby and these two have got the most awful voices you've ever heard in your life.
Oh,
so Ruby can't do everything.
Darryl was in earlier, Darryl Jacobs. He was talking about Simon's not over, Simon Minier.
No.
Big Arsenal fan, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's only got 2 runners or something. That's a surprise.
Yeah,
good man he is. Good man, Simon.
Very good man.
Little bit quiet.
So a little bit
like Arsenal they are.
Yeah. Ed, a little outsider then. What can we have a little 5 each way on?
I have backed in the 240. I have backed a horse called Zanna here at 50-1 because he's running Grade 1s for 4 years here, Al. He's gone 4th, 3rd, 4th in Grade 1 races into Handicap Company. He's been kept fresh for this, and I think 50-1 with all those places. I'm sure Coral are paying
25s.
Plenty of places in the Ultimate. 50-1, I think he's.
But you did tell me a few weeks ago Saints would stay up.
The co-commentator the other day absolutely tore us to shreds. That McCoist. You were laughing at us.
I think I was mild.
Bad.
Well, but the thing was, you actually were excellent at Old Trafford.
No, they were bad. We were okay. They were bad.
Tony, Gold Cup, Gallopine.
Yeah, look, he's a fabulous horse. The ground, people might think that maybe he's better when the ground is slow, but he's a fabulous horse. There's not much. What's not to like about him? He looks like the ultimate Gold Cup horse. He's won 2 already. Can he emulate all? And there's
King George winner to chase him home.
Yeah, I think the more that dries out in that Banbridge would definitely. He's the one that's kind of unexposed. He won a Martin Pipe here. He won a 2-mile champion chase in Punchestown. He's a horse that's kind of like not get the credit. He won a King George. Obviously, LA Francais was slowing up a little bit, but he was keeping going well, and he looks probably the one that's most likely to chase him home.
Ronnie will be here, I take it.
Ronnie's here. He's obviously got Ballyburn. With David Manasseh in the Brown Advisory, which obviously got Dancing City to beat, but I think Ballyburn's a classy horse. I think he just might have a little bit more.
Guys, I've got to go to break. Thank you. Have a great day.
Good luck, boys. Have a great week.
Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, champ.
Thanks.
Brilliant. John O'Shea, obviously not listening. I told you don't go between Broadway and Winchcombe, you numpty.
John, what have you done?
You seem to have been running around upsetting people, Spencer, you treacherous little hound.
Boom! Like that. That's where he was getting stuck.
Hits him on the ropes, 30 seconds to go.
Opinions are opinions. They're like backsides. Everybody's got one.
I stand by that. I still think it was a terrible decision.
Well, it takes two to tango.
Before 10 o'clock. Why don't you get Ed to sit next to you, Dino?
Hey, you missed that comment. Ed
What?
slid in. And you started this, by the way, by throwing dwarfism around.
I did not.
Calling people jockeys, dwarfs and everything. And he slipped that in. That's fat shaming.
Yeah, but I hit him back with Southampton, didn't I?
Yeah.
Not a problem. Right, 9 minutes to 10 o'clock. Guys, what's in store? You going to have a bit of golf, are you, Dino?
No, I'm going to watch racing. I can't wait. I mean, today's the best day, I think, Al, isn't it? The racing.
It's either today or Friday, I think.
I'm with you, Dino. I love the opening day. Love it, mate. I think the atmosphere will be fantastic. We'll look as though we've got a brilliant day for it. Weather's
So how come you're going home?
I'm going to get changed.
You need to.
I'm going back here for the racing.
You're not coming back here.
And then I'm at Bayern tonight.
When are you going to get to Munich?
Yeah. Doing it for doing the tube. Come on. There's a big world out there, no television.
Well, you could do it from Cheltenham, then, couldn't you? Yes.
No. I've got to have a commentator sitting next to me.
Do you know what I spoke to yesterday?
Who?
You won't. I didn't want to say, but frightening. You remember you had that little poor incident in the hotel when you had a few and you came in and you're sitting on the throne and a wee woman said, excuse me, sir. I spoke to her grandson yesterday.
It was a poor... I think I saw him last year.
I spoke to the grandson.
Is that right?
Yeah, he says, tell Ali I was asked for him. I said, well, sorry, who are you? I went, no way.
Tell you who I did see last night. My old pal.
Ivor.
I went to see Ivor in Leg and Arms. Dino, what a absolute diamond, a character of a man. Ivor, he's been in the Leg and Arms now for I don't know how many.
Well, that's it.
I think he told
Camden.
me.
Chipping Camden.
Yeah, there's two. There's one in Broadway and there's one in Chipping Camden. Ivor's got the one in Chipping Camden, and he's looked after us. He was reminding me of the story. We went down there, I think, about 25 years ago, and I took the Kilmarnock boys down, and so straight in, the boys are on the Guinness on a couple of pints. They're off the next day. We're going racing. He says, great to see you. He says, where are you staying? He says, I said, I don't know. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, upstairs in his dining room, he'd 6 mattresses laid out, and the Kilmarnock boys were all sleeping in mattresses in the dining room.
Were you the manager?
No, player. Player.
So tell the story about...
I don't know what you're talking about. I've not got a clue what you're talking about.
Well, I'm going to do it tomorrow if you don't do it now.
I'm doing it.
So you're probably best to do it because I'll make it up more tomorrow.
I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
No, come on. You get away with that now.
No idea.
He's not been fighting, Al, has he?
No. That'd have been a delight.
He was relaxing somewhere.
I went into the wrong cubicle, shall we say.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, the wrong ensuite.
You need to go
not the wrong toilet.
And this wee woman sat out of bed. She nudged her husband and said, there's someone in our toilet.
Went into the wrong bedroom, into the ensuite.
No.
Wasn't my finest moment. It was not my finest moment. And then proceeded to try and jump into bed on him after it.
No.
That's it.
What did they do?
And the best it was, I've never seen a more horrified look in an old gentleman's face in my life, right? As he looked at me, and his wife said, you're in the wrong room, son. I said, so am. That's right. So I went back in my bed, right? Got up the next morning, completely forgot about it. Went down, they're all sitting at breakfast, right? And I went, oh, man, it's just reminding me. I went, oh, no. So I've walked down the stairs, and we walked into the room, right? There's about 10 tables. I got a standing ovation, right? My mate says to me, he says, it's typical, isn't it? He says, he does it. He walks into the wrong ensuite, gets a standing ovation. I'd end up in the High Court if it was me.
So, Dino, where you staying? Usual Bristol?
No, I'm in the usual hotel that we're in, the Hilton.
On Cheltenham?
Tewkesbury.
Yeah,
perfect.
Tewkesbury.
Yeah, I'm on Thursday.
Perfect.
But, I'll be with you in the hospitality box, hopefully.
Yeah, no problem. We'll get you in
what
there.
time you heading down there?
I'm swerving at the old Guinness Village.
Are you?
I'm going straight to hospitality.
That's controversial.
How are you getting there, Al? Mobility scooter?
I'm walking. Don't worry about that. Yes, I'm walking.
You're going to walk down there?
Yeah, but you've got to be careful, Dino, because there's one of them gauges on the gate. You've got to be taller to get in there to have a drink.
This is not on. I'm not
thing. The kids, you've got to be above there to go on the rides.
Exactly.
I'm not happy, Al.
Sorry, sir. Could you go
to one? Yeah.
I'm joking. Last year, the guy in the door went, all right, Al. He said, I looked at dinner and says, where's Willy Wonka? Oompa Loompa.
No.
So what time you work? What time you starting today?
What do you mean starting?
Oh, your work, because
it's normally about midday, 12:15.
Ray with you, obviously.
Oh God, yeah.
Have you checked his whereabouts?
No, I haven't. But I will check the dog. I've never seen him so uneasy in my life. My dog.
You know, Ray slept on the couch.
Oh yeah. My dog was lying in the bed and he's growling. I said, Jill, what's up with him?
Does he not like ginger?
She went, Ray's downstairs. I went, what? He's only 3 miles away. He said, nah, he just fancy getting his head down. So I said, go on, help yourself. Oh, Hugo, not happy.
Even your dog's like that, prejudiced. Doesn't like gingers. Even your dog.
Dino, put the ball away, will you? Anyway, just to reiterate, Dino says Liverpool will get stuffed tonight, so we'll see what we're... And Ali's doing the game, you're doing the Bayern game?
Leverkusen, Munich.
Yeah.
Funny, Harry Kane's already put that tie to bed, hasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then John O'Shea. John, listen, sorry, mate. I hope you're... Well, I did warn you. I did warn John. Road. Are you still stuck in that traffic? I did warn you, John. Right, Rupert Bells, he's still about? Rupert, where are you?
Make sure you join us for Racing Live on talkSPORT 2. Lee Mackenzie, your host, will be bringing you all the action from this fabulous racecourse, Cheltenham. Day one of the festival. Will Constitution Hill go into the record books and maintain his unbeaten record? You'll find out on talkSPORT 2.
Thank you, Rupert Malbec Bell. Oh, he was at it again last night, you know. Oh, yeah. We'll just have one, chaps. We'll just have one. Yeah, half a case.
Come on, Alan.
I've got to say, I thought he was looking well this morning.
No, he is. Something's happened to him. I think that suspicious trip to Thailand, to Phuket, has put him right.
Oh, aye.
I do. He's definitely looking different. You know, he normally comes in dishevelled with his granddad's coat and all that on, but he's definitely spent a few quid.
Remember that time he came in? Was it last year? He cut himself shaving.
Oh, he cut himself? I thought he got mugged outside.
Honestly.
What the state of him?
He came in. There's just blood everywhere all over his collar and his face.
He's ex-army. He was an officer.
He doesn't look right. Al. He doesn't look right this morning. He looks like Man United's accountant. He's miles off it.
Right, listen. Have a good day. Go easy.
Absolutely.
Go easy on the black stuff. Go easy on the betting. But listen, have a great day. Tuesday is one of the best days of the festival. And don't forget, we're back 6 a.m. tomorrow. Good luck today. Guys, thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock.